evening, and welcome to another exciting show. And happy days are here again. And the first in the studio, where are we? We're in live chat tonight is Arsburgers as Fudge, our cultural attaché, and our guests should be David. And where the heck is he? We don't know. He should be live on here tonight. But instead, we've got who wants to be first? So come on, fellas. We got two of the team in here. We got his Royal Hanorak, and we've got all the way from Wisconsin, Patrick. So good evening, boys.
Evening.
And
Good
how are
evening
you
to you
tonight?
both.
And it's nice that you know. And as I say, we're waiting for David to come on air, but I've sent him a message. I don't know what's happened to him. So,
Do we need to send out some positive vibes in the hope he might get them?
yeah, God knows. But ask. Well, yeah, I think what I do, I might phone him up and frighten him. I think
You're not still doing that voice again, are you?
Yeah. What's that?
Your deep telephone voice, the breathing, heavy breathing.
Yeah.
You're not still doing that, are you?
Yeah, why not do that? Yeah, why not? That's a good idea. Now we got Arsburgers is for Fudge is first on. I think we should at least here he is. I think we should at least give him the option of a two-finger salute to a celebrity or preferably a politician of his choice. So choose wisely, please. And there we go. We got Mark Anthony. We got DJ B2. Hello. And we've got who else we got here? Yuki Brown. Sorry, Yuki Brown, I left you out. Sekar Blue. Yes. Only on a Wednesday. DJ B2. We've got Mark Anthony. Where are you? Yeah, Mark. We've got Mark Anthony, evening all. And we've got Chris, there's a typo on your show title. Yeah. Yes, I know.
Baton.
And I left it. Well, it could be a new word. Baton. So there we go. Yes.
That's when you're in a relay race and you get handed a baton.
Good idea. Good thought.
Yeah.
It's a Fockham word. And remember, in the Fockham, was it cleanliness is next to holiness in a Fockham dictionary. So there we go.
Of course, the thing is, Betond may be French or something really, really rude, and you don't realise it.
Yeah. So, well, shall I say, shall bullshit? I wondered who was going to notice that. Now, Stephen Trusicker said, "What's tonight's show about? The tonight's show about is where the is has our guest." David Moorfield got to because he should be on tonight.
We're making it up as we go along, aren't we, Chris?
We'll make it up as we go along. Well, what I could do is I could phone him first of all. What about that? So where are you? There you go. Mate?
Give him a ring.
Yeah. Give him a ring. That makes the show exciting.
It shows he's online on Telegram. I don't know what's up with him. He's got to call in. Yeah.
Well, when he call up, say, "Hi, David. It's Cilla Black here." For the surprise.
I don't think you actually got that sort of cruelty in Wisconsin. Did you?
Who?
Did you, Patrick?
No. That name is not familiar.
That's lucky.
No.
You escaped that one then.
Right, I'm just going to give a little press here. Here we go. Come on. Here we go. Cool. Here we are. Restricts all calls. Oh, send an invite link. Oh, I'll send a bleeding invite link. I can't phone him because he restricts the calls.
Yeah.
Right.
I tried it too.
Right. Where are you? Where?
He's sleeping.
Are you? We are waiting for
Dave.
You. Cooey, where are you? Well, we'll have to try and cover what he was going to do. There we are.
Well, Mark Anthony just said David's posting on Telegram at the moment.
Is he?
Is he?
Okay, well.
Let's have a quick look on Telegram and see what he's posting.
Who knows what he's posting?
Are supposed to be live on air. Where is he? We can say rude things about him, can't we?
I'm sure last time we did that, the guest turned up.
Yeah. So we know where you live, and we'll send the boys round. How about that? They have a very persuasive manner with them.
What's his name? Mike.
Well, sure. Well, Mark and the mechanics. Oh well, what we'll do, we carry on as per normal, and I thought first of all we'd talk about mysteries. Okay, mystery. What happened to Amelia Earhart? And of course, Amy Johnson. Now, if you don't know who those two people were, Amy Johnson was a famous female pilot of the 1930s, and every one of her planes was called Jason. And in a very small, I think it was a Tiger Moth. She took off, and she was my dad's heroine. He used to follow her when he was a little young boy, and she flew solo from London to Australia. I can't remember the exact location in Australia. And one of the newspapers, I think it was the Mail, I'm not sure, may have been the Daily Mail, plotted her, had the exclusive rights to her story. And every day they published as she was sort of going around the world. And my dad said she landed amongst cannibals. Well, it was all hyped up for the press. Not really. She went. It was planned. She landed at a place where there was missionaries. There was a mission, and what happened is they handed the natives handed her a piece of paper. And apparently, and they said that there's a mission there. That's bullshit. The missionary was standing there waiting with the fuel ready to blow to a plane. So that's hyped it up. But anyway, hang on. He's saying, I'm on for Donald tomorrow, as agreed. Yeah, David Moorfield is on, for tomorrow. But I thought he was going to come on tonight. So there we are. But anyway, on about Amy Johnson. She was the first female to actually fly solo all the way to Australia in a little tiny tiger, either a gypsy moth or a tiger moth plane. You look it up on Google. And what a very, very brave woman she was. And during World War II, she was in Transport Command. And that's where lady pilots would transport aircraft from the factory to the RAF bases, or from one RAF base to another, because they didn't want to tie up male pilots transporting aircraft. So women did it. And apparently she was transporting a Spitfire from one place to another. And she was in the Thames estuary when she was set upon by a couple of, I think it was Messerschmitts, and she was shot down, and nobody's ever found the wreckage of the plane or her body. So she's somewhere, so they think, in the Thames estuary. But it's a mystery what happened to her. So that's Amy Johnson, the British aviator. And of course, you had the American aviator. That's Amelia Earhart, who wanted to fly around the world. And she was with a chappie who was a navigator, because that's quite something. Before I tell you about Amelia Earhart, because it's a mystery, a total mystery, until recently, what happened to her? And it's quite fascinating. And it's been a real mystery. Now we got here, hang on, what we got here? Is it about the paranormal? Yeah, it can be. We might be going on to the paranormal any moment. So there we are. It's mysteries, you see. And it says, I've arrived. I've said it to all my wives. Have you really? Nelson Mandela. No, he wasn't a pilot, and he was a male. I don't think he was female.
I suppose that's the celebrity or.
Sorry. I'm terribly sorry, Asperger. So Nelson Mandela. No, I don't like him. To Nelson Mandela, or to Nelson Mandela. Yes, a very hyped up person who wasn't what they say he was. His wife was very charming, wasn't she? she had something about tyres she quite liked, catching light to them around people's necks, and things like that. But now Sue Sparkle says, hang on, Nelson Mandela, here we are.
Well, apparently, Winnie Mandela was quite fond of being around Nelson's column. I'm sorry. That's low the tone for you. We're only 10 minutes in. That's what she said.
10 minutes in, and that's a classic. Sue Sparkle, 63, says, hi all, I won't be staying for long as I'm not at all well. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Been ill all week with a cold and cough, so let's all concentrate on Sue Sparkle getting well. I think you're up in...
a cold is just a body detox.
Body detox.
Body's sorting itself out.
And have you been round any masts or aerials recently? So I wish you better. And a little tip, and if I know that if Dr. Miles Fleetwood is listening, and he's going to go, ooh, and I'm not a doctor, I'm not qualified, so please don't take this. But an old wives' thing was, and it works, and it's worked for me as well. Take some bicarbonate of soda, half a teaspoon, a stingy half a teaspoon, in a beaker of warm water, like that. You see, take it down every 2 hours the first day the cold starts, every 4 hours the second day, and once in the morning, once at night on the third day, and the cold should go because you're turning your body from acidic to alkaline. And it's worked for me, and I think it's worked for a lot of other people, and it was found by Arm & Hammer in the 1920s, and Big Pharma noticed it and quietly forgot about it. So there we are. Because after the FLU in America in 1918, the American government put out a tender to find a company who could find a cure for it, and Arm & Hammer won it. And they're the people who make the toothpaste out of bicarbonate soda. So there we go. So there it is. Now, what's happened here? See above. What have I done here? What's here? Now, I know why I didn't get... it says here... now, I've got a message from David. I think there's been a bit of a cock-up here. I know why I say I'd be a guest at this time slot. I need time to get the next content and media found and ready. No half-assed last-minute things. See above. Oh, okay then. I'm on... Oh, there we go. He said he's coming on to see on Donald's show tomorrow. I never said you're supposed to be on here. He said, I never said so. I just asked what was a free date wise. I'll go read back what I wrote. Oh, all right then. Well, I got the wrong end of the stick. Oh, well, that's life. That's it.
We'll get you through it, Chris. We always do.
Never mind.
I've got this clip for Dave. Hopefully you can hear it. I'm gonna play it.
I'm afraid, Dave. My mind is going. I can feel it. My mind is going.
2001. Hello, Dave.
I was about to say, was there a punch in his blow-up doll or something?
All the heavy breathing in it. I like that bit when he's saying, what was it when he says, "Now let me in, Hal," and he says, "Well, I'm going to come in." That's not going to be easy.
I'm afraid you can't do that, Dave.
Do that, Dave. It's a sort of polite. It's something like when the police stop you. That's a sort of a kind of sick politeness, isn't it? You can't do that, Dave. But anyway, so I hope you're well. I hope you get better, and that's it. Now, Stephen Truthseeker, he's had strange things happening to him. So here we go. We like to hear that. So it's all paranormal and spooky things. Now, the other thing I was going to talk about, David, who's now spooky because he's cleared off. I don't know. One of us got the wrong end of the stick. It's not worth worrying about, is it? That's life.
Chris, we got to get that joke. Mark Anthony's just posted that absolute quality joke on there.
Has he really? Where is it?
Yeah.
Is it near the bottom here? Hang on.
It is last but one.
Was it? Two Thai girls asked me if I'd like to sleep with them. They said it would be like winning the lottery. To my horror, they were right. I had 6 matching balls.
Brilliant, that is.
That is a genius one. Thanks, mate. That's a classic. And now, where are we? That really is a classic. I like that one. 6 matching balls. I'm looking for Barefoot Forager. Barefoot Forager, where are you? Oh, here it is. I've been pummeled. Have you really? Put this month with geometric storms and solar flares. Oh, we've been pummeled. Sorry. No, I thought you'd been. Solar flares. Maybe David's still fizzling.
Apparently, there's a lot of magnetic storms going off at the moment and flares. I don't mean flares as in genes. I mean as in flares, energy and stuff like that. Yes.
Well, the
Blue Ray
thing
on here. Blue Ray on here is always very knowledgeable on that sort of thing.
Well, that's right. Yes, we got I tell you something. We got a chat room to be proud of, and we got a bigger chat room tonight than we normally have. So perhaps it's as well not worth a star guest on.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
And Warren Rexer says Soweto neckties. Gary McCallum protests Winnie Mandela in the US. Yes. The gags have started already. That's right. Now, yes, he likes the hardened criminals one. Now, Barefoot Foreigner says, I've discovered that certain body fluid is also alkaline. Is it? That's interesting. Always get confirmation when booking guests. Yes, should have done that. Never mind, that's life, you know. Barefoot, I'm not sure any of Eric's guests can film. No, they don't actually. EXO, yes, that's right. That's what it does say. Yes, never mind. That's life, you know. But no, it's going to go on to Amelia Earhart. Okay, now I guess you know who Amelia Earhart is, Patrick, because your relative was the first man to fly across from America to Paris, and his name was
Charles Lindbergh Jr. Yes,
that's it. Yes. Yeah. And some people think it was James Stewart, but it wasn't James Stewart. No, he acted the part of the film.
No. Before his time.
And I'll tell you something. He was bloody brave, like most of these people are. Extremely brave. And he helped the American Air Force during World War II because, or the Marines, what do you call the aeroplanes that take off from aircraft carriers? They're not the American Air Force, are they? They're the
Navy.
The jump jets.
Navy. Yeah, and all that. Well, they didn't have jump jets in World War II, but he actually advised them how to cut back on their fuel so they could go longer distances, and that's how they actually managed to shoot down Yamamoto, who was the general Yamamoto, who was the brains behind Pearl Harbor. So there we go. You know. But
Yamamoto. Even though they reckon that Pearl Harbor was an inside job, don't they?
Well, I reckon so. Yes. Well, they reckon that the president knew about it because the British had cracked the Japanese codes, and Churchill was sending, was it Roosevelt, the codes, and he just chose to ignore them deliberately because they wanted to bring America into the war. So that was it. But anyway, what I was going to say is. Amelia Earhart, she was going to fly around the world, and she took off, I believe, from somewhere in the Pacific, flying across the Pacific Ocean, which is a bleeding great ocean, and apparently she made a bit of a balls up of the radio transmission because she was not very good she couldn't do Morse code, which was the standard thing, and she got the things wrong. And it was all perfectly worked out where there's different stations that would send signals up, but she was sending on the wrong signals because, again, she wasn't very good at it, and nor was the bloke she was with was particularly good at radio signals and radio stuff. And she wasn't where she thought she was. And now there's a huge search for Amelia Earhart because of the radio when she was broadcasting went off. And they know, as I say, they believe she dropped into the Pacific Ocean, but it's never been found. And there was some very strange stories. There was several American Marines, that said that when they captured a Pacific island during World War II, there was scribblings on the jail wall from Amelia Earhart, and they reckon the Japanese captured her. And there were some Japanese civilians who said that they saw 2 Europeans coming ashore, which would have been her and a radio operator, on one of these islands that was, that was when Japan was not at war with America. Well, there's all these different weird facts and figures, but some secret papers have been released in the last year from the American what do you call it? Papers where they're all locked away. And hang on, what's it? David said, I don't think it's fair that it is your error, his error. All right. Well, it's a misunderstanding, okay? There's nobody's wrong or anything like that. Don't get hat up, Dave. We all make mistakes. That's why they put erasers rather on the end of pencils. Wasn't your error, wasn't my error. It was just a misunderstanding, okay? I thought you was coming on. That's it, okay? Don't worry about it. Anyway, what I was going to say is Amelia Earhart, she was transmitting on a frequency that the other stations could not pick up. But this frequency she was broadcasting on was picked up in California. And there was a girl that was listening to the radio, and she heard this woman shouting SOS, and she listened to her for about 3 or 4 hours. And she was dismissed as a hoaxer. And people say, oh, silly girl, she was listening to things. And what happened is a couple of other people said that they heard her transmissions. Well, since the records have been opened up, they found out that Amelia Earhart did land on an island, an uninhabited island, a very small one, and one of her engines was in the water. And she could only run her radio to get the dynamo going by running one of the engines. And they reckon she survived for several days on this island. And they've never found the plane wreckage, but they did go onto the island. They did find some bones, some different tins of freckled cream, and all things like that. And they believe it was Amelia Earhart. And they found out that the girl that heard the transmissions was correct, and loads of people picked up SOS transmissions in California, but they couldn't locate her because she was on a frequency that they just couldn't locate it on. So that was the story. There it is. So they have found the story. So she wasn't captured by the Japanese and all that type of thing. And Elvis Presley didn't find her either. So there we go. So
interesting though, on the numerology side of things, she died. She went missing 22 days before her birthday, and Satanic equals 22. That's something to go by.
Well, Exo said she was eaten by crabs. Well, did a partner have crabs as well? Sorry. No, I shouldn't laugh about that. Sorry. It's really.
Get my Amelia Earhart and make it snappy.
But true story. That's right. Yes, that is true story. But what got me is that years ago, when sailors used to die of scurvy, why didn't sailors catch fish? Have you ever wondered that? Anybody? Surely that would have given them the vitamins that they wanted, vitamin C,
Maybe they didn't have the fishing lines to do, I don't know.
And Exo said the biggest crabs on the planet live there. Ooh, that's a nasty way to go, isn't it? Being eaten by a crab.
That would be a pincer movement, wouldn't it?
Make it
Sorry.
snappy. Yes. But now, have you anything to say, Patrick, about your relative and how close he is? Because he's a very close relative, isn't he?
Wow.
Well, fairly, in a way, because my it would have been my great grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my great grandpa. He actually grew up close to him, up in Little Falls, Minnesota, and I think it was his great aunt was married to his father. So Charles Lindbergh's father, who was Charles Sr. And Charles Sr. was also a U.S. Senator from Minnesota. Here in the States, each state has 2 senators. So there are 50 states, so it ends up being 100 senators in the U.S. Senate that decide things in the government. And he was well known as an objector to World War I. And as a consequence, he made many enemies with the people trying to get us into World War II. And
yes, he was an isolationist, wasn't he? He didn't want America, and I agree with him. He didn't want America to join the war.
Yeah, it wasn't our war, and it wasn't on our territory, and
Correct.
there wasn't any reason to believe that they couldn't sue for peace and negotiate instead of go to bombs and guns. Which the more civilized thing, obviously, to do is to talk instead of going to.
That's right.
Do what they did to Dresden and Hamburg and all the other places that they firebombed.
Precisely. And Churchill, although I couldn't stand the bastard, one thing he did say that I agree with him was jaw is better than war. And it's true. But Exile said back to Amelia Earhart, it's a popular theory, especially regarding her potential stranding on Nikamuro Island, that giant coconut crabs may have consumed Amelia Earhart's remains, explaining why her body was never fully found. I think that.
Well, I've always heard that she ran off with her navigator and disappeared on purpose.
That's another one, really. Yeah, that's another interesting
Fred Noonan.
One. Yes, right.
Interesting.
Fred Noonan, yeah.
Interesting in the numerology world again. So, if you work it the other way, from the day she went missing to her birthday is 11 months, 1 week, 1 day. So that's 1111.
Well, it's a bit like another one that went missing. You know the Moors murderers.
Yeah.
What was the name of that woman now? I can't remember her name. Supposed to have been pretty evil, nasty piece.
That was about the time that the Vietnam War was starting to kick up.
That's right. And there was there was a woman, and I mean these murders were terrible. They used to pluck children off the streets, and the bloke she was with would torture the kids before killing them. And there was a hardened hang on, I'll have to put this.
Myra Hindley.
Thanks, mate. Thanks a million for that. Myra Hindley always said she was in the next room and wasn't there, and things like that. And they found some of the bodies, but there was a couple that they never found. And there's a hard-ass journalist speaking once, and he said that as a journalist, he said, he'd seen everything, the most goriest murders, the lot. And he said he heard the tape of what was released, because they used to tape record in old-fashioned, reel-to-reel tapes, these children being tortured. And he said there was a tune that they played in the background was The Little Drummer Boy. And he said it played on his subconscious, and he was actually in one of these giant shopping precincts once, and they played The Little Drummer Boy on over the air, sort of over the intercoms or whatever, over the speakers there, and he almost collapsed. He said it hit him because it was such a horrible thing that had happened, especially to these children. But the strange thing is that with Myra Hindley, she was given life imprisonment, and she's supposed to have died in prison. But as a mate of mine says that she was released and given sort of changed her looks, given plastic surgery, and she lived in a monastery. And she had a car accident once because she drove a car, and someone said, "Hang on, you're Myra Hindley, aren't you?" And she said, "Yes," and walked off. Now, Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But they reckon that's what happened. She changed her looks and changed her ID and everything. They do that to some people. I don't know if anybody else has heard of that one about Mara Hindley. Have you heard of that one at all?
I think you
Paul,
mentioned it before. I
is it?
think I heard it from you.
Yes. Now, we got a question for you, Patrick. Where are we? How are you finding life in Minneapolis at the moment, Patrick? That's from Miles Burgers from Platt.
Oh, well, do you know what's going on in Minneapolis?
Yeah, what is going on in Minneapolis? I don't know. Is it something happened there?
Apparently, so yesterday was the 24th. There was someone was shot by ICE again.
Oh, another one.
Yeah, and they're claiming he was unarmed, and I saw the video of it, and it was, unexpected that he was going to get shot when I was watching it. But there was some sort of protest going on, and he got shot, and now everybody's up in arms about it. Blaming, each side blaming the other, trying to get us all divided.
Black, white, black, embrace this, all this sort of crap,
The best response I saw was from Candace Owens, where she said it's basically they're trying to drive people out of this area of Minneapolis to drive down the prices of the houses so these rich elites can come in and buy it up.
That's what happened in London.
Property.
Something that's been done before, isn't it, in different parts of America? Where they was it during the Black Lives Matter, the George Soros thing, where they had some protesters going down wherever it was, New Orleans or wherever it was, and they were destroying poor people's businesses, etc., and they were being deliberately steered away from anywhere that was basically owned by the Rothschilds or Rockefellers and so on and so forth.
I saw that, yeah.
Just destroying the poor people's bits and pieces. Just going back to the Moors murderers, I've been looking at that. Do you know, I find it interesting that I still think a lot of these people who would do these murders are actually part of their world, should we say, the elite's world, because when you look at Wikipedia, all the information they've got on those people, well, why don't they, why would you have so much information on these people unless they actually know who they are? Do you know what I mean? It's like who their mom, who their dad, every time they went for a dump and all this, it's all listed. You know what I mean? I think that, well, as you know, in the world I understand, I think they're all part of their world, to be honest.
I agree with you. I think you've got a point. And I think Stephen Truthseeker's got an interesting point here. There was supposed to be a third person involved in the Moors murderers. I think a well-known DJ, and I think we all know who he means. Malden. Who knows? I know that the way they got caught, officially is what we're told, there was a third person that Hindley, I think, told what he was up to and wanted him to join in, and he got cold feet and went to the police, and that's how he got there. So Hindley's got caught. That's the official story. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But I know that Jimmy Savile knew Peter Sutcliffe, who was the Yorkshire rapist, wasn't he? A Yorkshire Ripper.
The Yorkshire Ripper.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Jimmy Savile knew him, apparently, which was very, very strange, very, very odd. Yeah, but
well, didn't he know a lot of people though?
Oh, he did.
He was a media mogul. Yeah.
Yeah, and he knew Rolf Harris. And Rolf Harris, I could never understand how a man kept the same act for year after year after year, and still was popular. I mean, the didgeridoo when he first came over to England in early 60s was something that people had never heard of in this country, and it was quite unusual. It's blowing down a pipe and things like that. People never heard of it. But then as things expanded, television and that, it became, and people travelled more and they went to Australia, and that the didgeridoo was no big deal. But he still carried on with his didgeridoo all the time. And did you know
that Rolf Harris likes blowing down a pipe, don't we?
Oh, he certainly does like blowing down a pipe. Yeah, we did do. But how did he keep going with such a same act time and time again? So how did he do it? You know, very, very strange. I can never understand that. Oh, hello, David. Are you actually in the studio? Because I can't see you.
He's
No,
gone.
I can't see him. He's gone. Oh,
He's
he
shy.
was in.
He's shy.
He's very shy. Now, apparently, Mara Hindley, Lord Longfield, daily visits. Yeah, I remember that, which was very strange, you know. I actually think what we're told and what really happens is two different things. I mean, what do you think of that tape that's been played about that island where all the elites went to and did naughty things? And
You mean
apparently,
Little St. James down in the Caribbean
yeah,
with the
and
Jeffrey Epstein and
Jeffrey Epstein and all
what's
that,
her
yeah.
face, Robert Maxwell's daughter,
yeah.
Ghislaine.
And have you heard that woman who's supposed to have been killed and made tapes before she was killed and told someone to release these tapes after her death, and they've
Did
been
she
released?
release tapes after her death?
Well, apparently so, and she reckons that Obama was the worst, allegedly. So who knows? I mean, when you look at the elite, they are a sick bunch of bastards, aren't they? They really are. But
well, they get blackmailed so that they vote the way that they want to when a war comes.
Well, look at Trump, for example, and look at all of them. I mean, I think the most blackmail one must be Keir Starmer. I mean, look at him; he looks as if he's shitting himself most of the time. I've got to be careful what I say, you know. Yes, and
well, didn't he have a problem run-ins with some Ukrainian rent boys?
that's right. Yes, yes, and he's got a good friend called Ali. Who he runs around with it because his wife disappeared for ages. We don't know what happened to his wife. You know,
Ali's wife.
Ali Bar, you mean?
No, Ali Bar. No, Keir Starmer's wife. So you know, now
is it a wife or is it a bloke?
We don't know. But when you look at this thing about blokes marrying blokes, it's been going on for a long time because you see pictures.
Look at Macron.
Oh, crumbs! Yeah, I mean,
yeah, Emmanuel Macron.
Mr. Macron.
Mr. Macron. Hello, Mr. Macron.
Yeah, the one beats up on the other too. He has to wear sunglasses.
You see that Bush gives a right hander.
Yeah,
he probably likes that.
House abuse.
That's right. Paul's just come along with a message. Where is it now?
Which Paul?
This is Paul English.
Oh.
There's going to be an initial food for thought radio schedule for the test transmission phase. He's given a link there. So there we are.
Oh yeah, when's that going on?
I don't know because it's going live
tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be started tomorrow. Food for Thought Radio. I'm going to be on early in the morning. And
really?
yeah. But a group of us are.
Oh, nice.
And I was talking to Paul earlier today, and he said, "What if you come on by about 9:30? Because it's due to start at 10 tomorrow." So we're all sort of tripping up because it is quite a start. It's quite a big thing. He said it'd probably go tits up, but well, you know, that's the way it is. So Food for Thought Radio. If you could all log on there tomorrow morning, it's gonna be the grand big start. And I was told 10 o'clock. Unfortunately, I think you'll be fast asleep in bed, won't you, Patrick, at that time?
What time? 10 o'clock your time?
Our time, and you're 6 hours back.
That's about 4 o'clock in the morning my time. I'd have to get up pretty early.
Yeah,
I could record it, though.
Could do, yes.
I could.
Yes.
Yeah.
And because I believe the guest tomorrow night, who's Donald
Jeffries. He's got
Donald
two
Jeffries.
first names for a first name for a last name. Jeff.
That's right.
Jeff,
I believe because he's an hour closer to us, isn't he? He's only 5 hours back because he's on the
East Coast. He's in DC.
East Coast. Yeah. Was he in? Is in Washington?
Yeah, he's in the capital area.
Oh, that's a very nice part of the world, isn't it? So it's going to be interesting talking to him. And you got some questions lined up for him, and David's going to be on, and and it's going to be quite something, Now, Mark Anthony has said, where are we? And I've lost you, mate. There we go. There we are. some strange occurrences around the first ice shooting a few weeks back. It took place on the 33rd Street. The encounter involved 3 officers. The officer involved apparently had 33 stitches. Strange.
Yeah, that's right. 33rd. There's a lot of 33s going on with that one.
Just that might be Freemason related then.
Well,
Just like-
have you?
Kabbalist. Yeah.
Yes.
Just
Kabbalah.
like the train crashes that took place in Spain. All
Yeah.
once you see it, it's clear as mud. I mean, it's
Well, the
clear as
latest
day.
one. So that victim, the one who died, her name was, I think, Renee Good.
Mm-hmm.
And the latest one, his name is, let's see, what was his name? Alex Pretty. So the two of them together, pretty good.
Pretty good. That
Pretty good.
sounds really weird, doesn't it? Now,
Well-
Mark Anthony said, sorry, mate, I didn't mean to cut across you there.
I was going to say that. Well, that's what I was saying before about the links between events before we came on air. About Elvis Presley and the link between Elvis Presley and the Grand National.
Oh, that was
Elvis-
it. Yeah, you were saying that. Yeah, sorry, mate. I was
Elvis
cutting on
died
you.
in 1977, aged 42.
Mhm.
4 months and 2 days after the 1977 Grand National. that took place on the 2nd of April, which is 42. 42 horses raced, and the winner was Red Rum, which is murder backwards.
Yes. Was he
So he
number
was
42?
murdered,
I don't know if he was number 42, but there's 3 links that link Elvis Presley and the Grand National that year. Any of the
Isn't that
sports events, major sports events, are linked to some other event that takes place. I've been looking at this with regards to the railway crashes and stuff, like the 1966 World Cup links to a rail crash before it.
Isn't that
Well,
weird?
that reminds me of the Shining, with that Stanley Kubrick movie with Jack Nicholson and Shelley Duvall. That was the little boy who had like a demon talking
That's right.
through him. And he was always saying red rum,
Red rum.
room 327.
And have you seen that chap? What was his name? Smith something. He's on YouTube, and he went round London. Apparently, in the 1960s, the Secret Service built loads and loads of underground tunnels, and the entrances to these tunnels were always in Building 33. And he went round the entrances to these tunnels, building number 33, everywhere. And that's where you got into the tunnels, and they were
Well,
just looking buildings.
Well, you know that on this, the Skull and Bones logo's got the number 322 on it. I don't know if you know the organisation.
I believe so.
You
Yes.
mean the one at Yale? The Yale University Skull and Bones Society?
Yeah, the one that all
John
the
Kerry
presidents
belonged
are part of.
That
So-
George Bush and John Kerry were both part of that.
So
Really?
just to give an example, so the 1966 World Cup was the 31st of the World Cup finals, the 30th of July 1966.
Mhm.
There was a massive rail crash at near Acton Grange near Warrington on the 13th of May 1966, which involved locomotive D322. So there's your Skull and Bones link straight away. And it happened on a day that leaves 232 in the year, which is 322 in a different order. It took place 2 months, 2 weeks, 3 days before the World Cup final, which is 322 again. And then in the news article, the most significant goal was the one at the 101st minute where it went 3-2. On 101st, so that's 1 and 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. For another 3-2-2. So there's 4 3-2-2s that link that rail crash with the World Cup final.
Isn't that weird?
There's a
That
lot of
is
these.
very weird.
I'm trying to look into this a lot more into the like rail crashes and stuff. They're not
Well,
accidents. They're
World
deliberate.
War II, World War II especially. And by the way, Mark Anthony's always comes up with the goods. Well, first of all, I'll answer Mark Anthony's question. What channel is Food for Thought Radio going out on tomorrow? Okay. As far as I know, if you go on to the Paul English Show on Rumble, Paul English Show on YouTube, I'm sure you'll find it on there. And also, if you go on to his Telegram channel or my Telegram channel, you'll find it on there as well. It's not on there yet because I'll do that first thing tomorrow morning. So so that's it. It'll be on those Telegram channels. So if you're not on Telegram, tough. No, sorry, but seriously, just look up Paul English on Rumble or YouTube, and also keep note on Paul's Telegram channel or my Telegram channel.
I looked up. I think
on Olan Radio as well. Olan Radio on Telegram as well. Sorry, he's going to say.
Yeah, well, I think FFTradio.com is where it's going to eventually end up. I could be mistaken.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Yes.
You go there and you see I see a new graphic of a cornfield with a farmer doing DJ work with a DJ deck and headphones on. So
that's new. That's just so that's foodforthoughtradio.com, I believe. Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah, so check.
Is it? Can correct me.
Yes. A voice has come from nowhere. My God. Are you there?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm busy slaving away over a hot monitor, enjoying the non-arrival of your guest. You handled that very well, gents. Particularly Eric. It was very, very good.
Well, actually, this is David. He's been taking tablets, and he's sounding just like Paul English. Isn't that that's amazing?
It's correct. I actually am.
Yes.
Tonight, I will be playing the role of David, your lost at sea guest. He's Flotsam and Jetsam, that's it. He's out for reclamation. If anybody can find him, you can retrieve him and pull him into harbour and, take control of him.
Right.
So, yeah,
Is
cool.
this officially stars in your eyes?
Flea in my ear. Sorry, I've had a flea
That's
in my
right.
ear.
Tonight, David, I'll be playing, I'll be doing an impersonation of. But, of course, I've no idea what he's like, so it's very, very difficult.
Well, it's like Sir John Gielgud. He was Sir John Gielgud and everything. He always overacted. I am acting. And I would say he was the world's worst bleeding actor. John Gielgud.
Oh, John Gielgud was very, very good.
Was it
He
Larry?
was great.
Oh, Larry. Yes.
With Larry, him and Larry, they were great. And Ralph Richardson. They were all fantastic. I loved them. Yeah, tremendous. Where do they don't make them anymore. I just thought I would pop in. I mean, I might lig around or whatever. I'm just busy.
Yeah, pull up a
I'm
chair.
tooling away over a hot computer. But I just thought I would just add a few little things with the Farmers Radio gig.
Okay.
It's gonna slope into existence. It has to somehow. We thought we might be in a position to sort of go off all guns blazing tomorrow, but we won't be. However, there's going to be a test transmission phase. Is that the right way to do? It's definitely test transmission, but I'm stuck on what word I should call it. Test transmission, beta testing. Okay, we could call it that, yeah. Something like that. So there are things lined up. People are going to be doing shows. We've got a sort of rough schedule, which will go up imminently. I don't know whether the site's actually going to be up properly tomorrow or not. They're toiling over some tedious things which nobody really wants to know about, but they'll all get in place in due course. And so there's lots of other additional things that keep propping up in conversation that we need to take into account to sort of future-proof things, to make sure we don't make any stupid errors early on. You know what I mean? We could sort of do something silly and get a bit excited and carried away. So, but it's all looking good. There's lots of, basically it's a sort of period where those people that are looking at becoming show hosts can have a sniff around, and then we can use it to, give them a time slot, which is really what we're looking to do. Then there's plenty, and to just build up all the sort of backlog of stuff that we want. So I reckon it's going to take a couple of weeks for it all to fall in place properly. And then, Mark sent me a message as well saying, he said, I think I'll lay off really pushing it. I said, yeah, best. Let's just get it out there, build it up. And then when we think it's in a good shape, which won't be forever, it'll be a couple of weeks, I reckon, then we can go, right, you can turn up now properly. So anybody that sort of falls in there, it's a bit like like a privileged specialist TV audience. You got in at the rehearsals. It's a bit like that. So we're kind of doing the rehearsals out in public. I'm cool with it, actually. I think it might make people feel they can just approach the whole setup, which they can. That's the whole idea. We want people to just get involved. Yeah. Our hand was forced, really. It's not like other things, because there's actually a lot more to it, really. There just is. There's a lot more to it. Background stuff that just needs to be sorted out and made solid. So, yeah.
A lot of work that goes into it, believe me. And Paul, you have been working really solid on this.
So is it going to be on Radio Soapbox?
No,
tomorrow?
it's a station. No, I don't know. Might do. All depends. I'll just press a few buttons. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, we might do. I've no idea. I'm not planning to send. It won't go out over any Rumble or YouTube channels at the moment because there's no need for it to do that. So if something goes out, I will probably inform everybody on my Telegram channel and stick a post on the Fockham Hall channel or whatever. It's for sort of like a boutique audience. You're all very special. You know, anybody that finds out about it at the moment.
Yeah,
so it's like, it's beta testers. It's like a sort of privileged audience thing. What did you think about this? We thought it was all rubbish. Well, that's good. At least we're consistent. Yeah. You know, that kind of stuff. And we can take it from there.
Our own complaints, like the Eats Times that had their own complaints page. Used to
it was crap from start to finish.
Yes.
Yours, Ron Tedious, Home Counties. I've never heard such drivel in all my life. Yours, Commander E.J. Smithick, retired.
We need that.
5th Fusiliers. I want loads of that.
And those are the complaints from the presenters.
That's right. Complete tripe. Nonsense, piffle.
Crap.
But I didn't turn it off. I'm going to be listening tomorrow to hear more of this rubbish. Good. You know.
As a lifetime BBC listener, I was absolutely appalled that it was nothing like the BBC. You know, something like that. But Mark Anthony says regarding that 33 and Freemasons and that, Sam Williamson on his YouTube channel is very good. Yes, that's where it's from. Thanks, mate. You come up with the goods. Sam Williamson. You need to watch Sam Williamson because, as I say, he found the entrances to all these secret tunnels were always in buildings number 33. So there we are. Yes. The Jolly Man says 33 sections of the AE map of Earth, 33 olive branches either side, 33 vertebrae. Jesus was sacrificed at 33 years old.
Yeah. 33 is an important number in their world.
Yes. And the brown stammer hammer. Now, that's an interesting one, isn't it?
What's that? What's the brown stammer hammer?
I don't know, but he says, I'll send that one to Brid, to Fizz. So,
I might go to the doctors with that.
Yes, it sounds sounds interesting, doesn't it? And no, I better not mention that joke. No, it's before the watershed. Patrick, can we stream a YouTube or Rumble video without too much hassle?
What does that mean?
I think on this new Food for Thought Radio. Yeah, I think it's on Food for Thought Radio.
Oh yeah, that's all going to happen. That'll dovetail into Mark's existing channels. You see, Mark's actually got quite a presence on YouTube. I think he's got quite a chunk of followers, and there are many other people with goodly followings who are going to be, become part of it. So, and I think it might encourage. We go, look, we're up and running. Just bolt your bit in here. Okay, it's a beta test, and if you hate us or whatever, you can always leave and duck out, and it won't tarnish your amazing reputation or whatever. But I don't think it'll be like that. But yeah, it'll go on. We're going to stick it on everything we can.
Yeah,
I think until they kick. Then they can kick it off of everything that we've stuck it on. It won't matter. That's the way it's going to go, I guess.
David's super keen. He says, I'll be in at 9:15. So there's super keen for you. So there we are.
Yeah.
And he said, for a Fockham promo for tomorrow and next Sunday. And that's very kind of you. That's it. Eric, now this is Martin Sheldon. Eric, are you and Paul English going to post your new radio show on your audio podcasts? Yeah, why not? Yes. Well, we're Telegram at the moment. If you go onto our Telegram channels, you'll find it on there. So there we are. And Patrick, I think Patrick posts quite a lot also on my Telegram channel. I'll have a word.
You, Patrick?
Yes, and Steve.
I do, and I think they mentioned audio podcasts. We've been doing audio podcasts of Fockham Hall recently, posting them to podhome.fm, and that's been going quite well.
Oh, we need to have a word with you about that, mate. So we'll have to set some time aside for that because I want to incorporate that into because I'm updating the website, the Fockham Hall website. It's long past.
Hey, Eric, I wanted to say something. We had that chat this afternoon.
Yes.
That tune at the beginning, if you can use that, it's just absolutely you. I just think it's great. For your show tune.
Days.
Happy days. It's brilliant. And of course, it's got that epic moment where it just played and played and played and played. And that was the happiest day of everybody's life because it just wouldn't end. That was just it's fantastic. So if you ever want to do a show but you can't turn up, you just play that for 2 hours or whatever, and it'd be great. Everybody go, Eric's just about to arrive. Happy days. It's just groovy.
And take off
it's
your
really
headphones
great.
so you can't hear it playing and just talk.
There's something behind that Happy Days, though, because I can't say too much. I had some relatives who were very morbid, and whenever you turned up at their house, that was their happy side, you know. And
Was it?
yeah, and I remember it was my mum, my dad, and myself. We pulled up at their house once. They came out. It was like this. It didn't sort of, hello, how are you? Normal family. Oh no. So I got out of the car and say, happy days are here again. Took the piss, and they're going, you're very funny. I said, yeah. So that's where I got it from, mainly, you know. Now,
You know that was Roosevelt's theme song when he ran for president the first time.
I might think, bloody hell.
Hey, being a bit nerdy, how old is that recording that you played? Is it the 1930s, that one?
Jack Hilton was 1932, I think it was.
Well, that must be okay. That must be clean to go then, Patrick, yeah?
Yeah, and then plus it's fair use. It's under 30 seconds, and it fades out. I'd imagine should be fair use.
Bingo! You're more lawful than I am. I'm in a lot of trouble. I'll be going to musical prison soon.
Yeah.
Gonna have to watch it.
And
Anyway.
it's not even true, because there's supposed to be a massive reptilian base under Liverpool, Merseyside. No, it's actually in Liverpool, Merseyside.
It's in Anfield, isn't it?
Yes, you can see it from the
Anfield
motorway.
and Goodison Park.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
I like Scousers a lot, so but there we go. Just we
I
can have a
shared
joke,
a
don't you?
ferry from Woodside across to Liverpool with a load of Everton fans. I'd tell you what, they were well behaved for. Normally, football fans are yobbos, like I saw on Saturday going up to Derby.
Are
But
what?
they were
Football
brilliant.
fans are what? I'm sorry,
Yobbos.
American here. What's a
Oh
yard?
yeah, yobbos. Do you know? Don't you know what a yobbo is, Patrick?
Of course not. No.
Oh
Tell
yeah,
me.
yobbo. Yobos are loud, slightly aggressive, often slightly drunk, sometimes extremely drunk. Young men, sometimes not so young actually, because they've not got out of the habit, who are spoiling for they're cruising for a bruising. They're spoiling for
like hooligans.
a little bit of roughy-tuftiness. Yeah,
Not
they're yobbos.
quite
They shout a bit. And, yeah, it's another word for hooligan, I suppose, but it's sort of. Yeah, it's an English word, so a bunch of yobbos. Yeah,
But
yobs.
then on the way back,
It's boy back to front, isn't it? If you spell boy back to front. And my dad said that when he was a kid, they would call young boys yobs. And when he went into a shop, they'd say, is a yob here to be served.
Well, it
And
just
that's-
reminds
right,
me
got
of
it.
that Anthony Burgess, Clockwork Orange. I remember watching that movie and being like, what kind of lingo is this that they're speaking? And I remember Yarbo was one of them. I just never knew what that meant. That's good. Thank you.
So there we
every
go.
day's a school day.
That's
Yeah.
right. Now, the Jolly Man is 33%. Now, this is interesting. It said 33% of BBC fact checkers have contacted the Samaritans within the last 666 days, according to the Daily Mail. Well, it must be true if it's in the Daily Mail.
Yeah.
Contacted the Samaritans. Who are the Samaritans?
Oh, if you're going to commit suicide, so if you're standing ready to jump off the edge of a building, you phone the Samaritans and they say,
suicide hotline.
yes,
And they put you,
they
they put
say,
you on hold.
well, what's your bank balance? Right. Well, just pay us a check and then jump after that. All right. So, sign the check.
I had a friend
and
in
jump.
Russia. I have a friend in Russia who was learning English, and he'd call the suicide hotlines in America just to have a conversation to practice his English.
Hey, are they called that? Patrick, are they called that? Suicide hotline? Is that what it's called?
Well, I don't know if that helpline.
I'm not
not
sure we can have a
hotline.
suicide hotline.
It's a bit like, hey, I really want to commit suicide. You've called the right place. We'll tell you how to do it. It's like sort of an emergency. No, you've got it
I
the wrong way
suppose it
around. You're
would be
supposed
a
to talk about,
hotline.
oh, no, we can help.
I suppose it would
So
be
it
a
comes
hotline.
across as real positive.
The suicide for dummies manual. Get it? But you're on the parapet of a bridge. Is it a railway bridge? I'm about that's section 45. Got you. Yeah. Is there a train due? Yes. Oh, it's late. Sorry. Come back tomorrow.
Jump now! That's terrible.
Apparently, one of my someone I used to work for NetRail. NetRail used to work in the old mechanical signal boxes. And on occasion on a Sunday, he'd go and work down at Hartlebury signal box in Worcestershire. And some bloke was stood on a bridge waiting to jump off in front of a train. And he went down. He said, "The last train's gone, mate. You might as well go home." So he got off and went home.
Well, when I worked at on the project, the Lower Thames Street, had a beautiful view from the office across the River Thames, and there was a police patrol boats going up and down. Waiting, it's a very famous suicide spot. There was an actual boat, a little boat designated to pull people out. And one fella came back from lunch and said he saw some woman dripping wet. She decided to commit suicide, and they managed to drag her out. And it was just, that's what it was there for. It was London Bridge was a famous bridge for topping yourself, apparently, because
Wouldn't it be easy to go and grab a drink out of it? Just grab a glass and drink some of the Thames water. I'm sure that'd be quicker.
Oh, bleeding smell! It's pretty foul. But I actually went there the day after. They was turning what happened is I'm not sure what type of naval ship it was, destroyer or something. Decided to turn around in the Thames, and there were tugboats to turn it round. And the captain was a bit of a stroppy sod apparently, and he said, "I don't need any tugboats or anything like that." And it got caught in the tide and smashed into the Tower London Bridge. And apparently there's lots and lots of building sites around there. Huge cheer went up. It bashed into the bridge. Yeah. So there we go.
Well, I donate my going back to the Samaritans. I donate my wage packet every month to the Samaritans to cheer somebody up.
Yeah. Well, I don't think would it cheer them up? I don't know.
But, they'd have a good laugh, let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, Hachi has said, we've got assisted dying in the UK now. We have. We got it now. Now, can you imagine if you was in the Samaritans, can you imagine that someone phoned and said, "Hello," I said, "Yes, I was just about to jump off the bridge. My name's Keir Starmer." Oh, I'd do it, mate, if I was you, yeah. In fact, would you look at help? I'll give you a quick push if you want.
Give us your address, we'll send you some bricks. It must be pretty bad to be in that predicament, I guess. But I still think jumping in front of trains is really. I really think that's the wrong way to do it, because it's not just if you want to kill yourself, that's fine. That's their choice, but don't affect somebody else's life in the process.
I do feel very, very sorry for suicide people who commit suicide. I mean, we joke about it, but it must be pretty horrendous to reach that stage in life.
Oh, it's evil what they're proposing and what they're doing. It started in Canada and other places. Didn't they have it in the Netherlands or some other place?
Oh, it is had it here. Demonic.
Yeah.
Did they have it in Wisconsin? Have they stopped it now? I hope so.
No, but I remember back, I think it was in the 90s, they had this doctor out in Oregon. His name was Jack Kevorkian, and he was advocating for it.
Yeah, Dr. Death.
Dr. Death, that was it, yes. Yes. Evil people. Absolutely evil. I do not believe in that. I think that, if a person's going to commit suicide, no, it should be talked about. It used to be illegal. Did you know that? If you didn't do it right, you actually could face jail. Seriously.
Yeah, because it's murder.
Yeah, it is. Yes.
Self murder. Yeah, it's not.
And it sets a bad example to other people. Really.
Now we got here. The Jolly Man says, "Why would lizard people decide to live under Liverpool? It's freezing. Yeah, get their arse frozen off. I'd have thought." Lizard pool, that's right. Alien 8 UK says, I've had the hum in Rendlesham, Stephen.
The hum?
Really? The hum.
What's the hum?
Rendlesham Forest is where there's the famous UFO thing. Because what happened, you see, is they thought that the America is outdoing us with that. What was that place?
Abductions. So you got to get your abductions up.
We've got to get numbers. Was a U.S. Air Force base where they saw some strange things going on. And it's been debunked, and it's been said it isn't debunked, and it's who knows. I wasn't there, so I don't really know. But Rendlesham Forest. And Rendlesham Forest is a bloody weird place. I've been there. It really is. And that was the time, was it early 80s, it's supposed to have happened, where they had UFO sightings and funny things going on. And we were very close to nuclear war, so they said, during the Cold War. And who knows? I don't know. I keep open-minded about it. But you can always guarantee the powers that be are going to muddy the water, whatever happens. Now, Exo said, and I agree with you, Exo, what sort of world do we inhabit when we need a suicide hotline? Yeah, I agree. And when you think about it, we didn't have these things after both world wars. And when you think of the terrible things that people have been through, terrible things that horrendous things that they'd seen during those two wars, those generations had something about them. I'm not saying anybody
they had dignity.
That's right. Yes. And
I guess it's not just what they actually saw; it's what they were forced to see. Because ultimately, they were forced to go into these situations, which should never have happened in the first place.
That's right. I agree with you. And it's because both sides committed atrocities. It wasn't just one side. War is a terrible thing, and atrocities. I mean, you've only got to look at My Lai massacre. What happened there? And it's one of the first times, I think, when the American forces turned guns on their own people. What happened is in the Vietnam War, a unit had been through a lot, and they snapped, and they started to massacre the local Vietnamese because they believed they were harbouring the VC, which is Viet Cong, and these poor souls were innocent. And suddenly, another helicopter unit, turned up and noticed what's happened, and they turned their guns on the those that were committing the massacre. So that was quite something, and it just shows you what happens in war. Ordinary people that would be family people, normal one time, will then turn into mass murderers the next. And that is quite frightening. It really is, Now, Stephen Truthseeker said, I mentioned the underground base and the hum because I've lived on Merseyside and heard it. And I've heard a hum where I live. I also live near what I believe was a camouflage secret base entrance that was on Merseyside as well. The hum. Have you heard of the hum?
I hear a hum on most nights. I have to say that, which I thought was coming on from the likes of 5G when they started turning that on. You get the if you're sitting quiet and you can hear a very low droning noise, like on and off, on off. I hear that a lot, which I think is to do with 5G, but it could be something else.
I heard it as long ago as the 1990s, and it was a hum that went all the way from Cambridge, apparently, through and ended up in Canterbury. And it sounded, it drove me out the wall, this low, and I thought it was a plane flying through low cloud, piston engine plane flying through low cloud, but it was a clear night. Very weird. John Bashing. Hello, John Bashing. I haven't seen you for a long time. Hello, John. De Jabos. Fighter bombers being spotted by Wehrmacht troops, the Western Front in World War II. Can you open up a little bit on that one, mate? I don't know much about that. Do you know anything about that?
What does Der Jabos mean? That's the first question for you.
Jabos? I don't know. Paul, do you know anything about it?
No, I don't. Sorry.
I do know about the Foo Fighters because that was a mystery, the Foo Fighters. And there's pictures of very strange lights that followed the formations of bombers that went over to bomb Germany. And nobody knows quite what they were. And I saw a speech once by the fourth goon. What was his name now? It'll come to me later on. And he said that when they improved their oxygen masks, then the number of Foo Fighters that there was reported dropped, but not that significantly. So some were people hallucinating, but some were genuine Foo Fighters, and that's what they called them, Foo Fighter. So that's it. But anybody know anything more about Foo Fighters?
I remember reading William Cooper's book, Behold a Pale Horse, and it opens with a scene in Vietnam when he was on a riverboat, and he claims to have witnessed a UFO come out of the water and then go up into the sky and fly away.
Really? That's interesting. Also, did you know there was a massive casualty rate in Vietnam that the government kept quiet about, and it was not made by the Viet Cong? And apparently what happened, the men would camp at night and they'd have people on watch and everything, and suddenly in the morning a couple of people had disappeared from their tents, and they heard screaming and everything, but these people just disappeared. And what it was tigers. They could smell the blood, warfare, and they are expert hunters, and they came in and killed a lot of GIs at night.
I heard somebody talking about this recently. I think it was E. Michael Jones talking about the tiger attacks in, I think, Burma or somewhere like that. And the people there came up with a clever way of avoiding the tiger attacks, because apparently as long as you're looking at the tiger won't attack you. So what they do is they put a mask on the back of their head so it looks like they're looking at whatever's behind them to avoid a tiger attack. Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd want to take that chance, though, would you?
Well, it's better than nothing, I suppose.
And also, they when they cross rivers, I know it wasn't in Vietnam, I know in World War II in Burma, when they crossed the river, they towed a log behind them, because alligators or crocodiles always went for the last, whatever it was in the water.
Whatever's trailing behind, yeah.
That's right. So they go for that. But that's interesting. But the biggest mystery, and this is a show about mystery, has ever been, is the missing POWs in Vietnam. That is a huge mystery. Well, I haven't got the figures ready to hand, but if anybody wants to Google it,
Isn't that what the Rambo movies are about?
Yes.
Going back to find all the POWs?
But there's a lot of truth in it. I think it was 30,000. It may have been as many as 60,000. They can't account for. And what happened is when they had that agreement where POWs were released, and there's famous pictures of the families welcoming the POWs back, what they don't tell you is those POWs were from high-powered families. They were pilots. They were high-ups.
John McCain comes to mind.
Correct.
John McCain Jr.
John McCain. But the actual grunts, the GIs, this is something that Eli might have something to say, they weren't released. And it's a mystery where they got to. And there's quite a few reports of sightings up until about the 1990s of seeing them as slave labour up in the north of Vietnam. So, who knows?
It could be, or otherwise they deserted and joined the other side.
Or the other one is, some people say they were actually shipped to North Korea, and they're actually and they would be alive today in North Korea.
Oh.
So that's another weird one, because they were left back as a bargaining power, so that they could bargain. You know, you don't give all your...
Which makes you wonder about China's role in the whole Vietnam War. That's something I don't know very much about, the Chinese position during that time. I would assume they were with the Viet Cong, since they were...
Oh, they were, yes. They were supplying them, because that's why they wanted to bomb the Ho Chi Minh Line, wasn't it? Because what's happening is they believed in America that supplies were coming through Cambodia, which was a neutral country, an innocent country. There was no real evidence as such that supplies were coming through Cambodia from North Vietnam to South Vietnam. So what they did is they went in and bombed the shit out of Cambodia and had regime change there and everything. And it was nothing to do with Cambodia, and there was still no evidence for it happening. Cambodians were a neutral country.
So they were
So-
like Switzerland.
Yeah.
What makes you wonder, like, what was Switzerland's role during World War II? You know, what were they doing? Similar type of things, moving supplies from France
Oh,
to
yes.
Germany? And,
Yes. Well, I know for a fact. I work with a contract guy who is Irish bloke, but you name the country, he'd worked there, and he worked in Switzerland for a short time, and his girlfriend was Swiss, and her father was in Switzerland during World War II, and said that what Germany used to do, they used to shunt the damaged railway rolling stock from the railways into Switzerland, and it'd roll along the rails and then into Switzerland. And then sometime afterwards, the carriages had been completely repaired, were shunting back into Germany. And they did that all the time throughout the war. So that's another one. And did you know that American bombers were shot down and British bombers were shot down in Switzerland, and German fighters were shot down in Switzerland by German fighters with Swiss markings on them.
yeah,
not many
and
people realize that.
if you read David Irving's book on Dresden, the first aerial bombing of mainland Germany was in Freiburg, which is across from Basel, Switzerland, and there was speculation that the bombers actually came from Switzerland that bombed Germany that started World War II.
That's a good point. There's every possibility.
And of course, Basel sits on the border of the three, doesn't it? I've been to Basel, and you got the German side, the French
Rhine.
side, and the Swiss side, all in the same city. You can literally travel through three
It's like
countries
Strasbourg,
on one
Freiburg,
tram.
and Basel.
And did you know that every bridge in Switzerland has got dynamite under it?
No.
Everyone. I
Really?
worked with a Swiss bloke who was in, because it's compulsory that you have to be in the Swiss Army until the age of 50, a part-time. It's what they call a
You do like a week or weekend a month or
That's
weekend
it.
a year or whatever it is.
but you could do your hobbies. So if there's a bloke, there's a documentary about it. He was he was a pigeon fancier. So, and the Swiss still use pigeons to send messages because they reckon that when everything is, if all the communications went down, then you still use pigeons. And he said, this is the only unit where the lower ranks can shit on the higher ranks and get away with it. Now,
I suspect Pigeon Post is more accurate than Yodel.
Well, that's another way to do it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Communication. You yodel across, and you have that big horn that you blow.
Yeah, I've been to Switzerland. It's a strange place, actually. Very, very mountainous. Very nice, though. Very
Pretty
posh.
country. Very pretty country.
Oh, yes, very. DJB2 said the hum is probably intentional to disrupt people's sleep. And we got some very interesting stuff here. John Basinglow. Hello, John, again. I'm very familiar with the My Lai massacre. It is hard for me to give you the details in the comments section. Seymour Hersh, the famous journalist, author, helped blow the whole thing open. Thanks, mate. That's very interesting.
He's the one that claimed that America did the Nord Stream 2 pipeline sabotage.
Really?
Yeah, that kicked off part of the Ukrainian thing.
I'm giving away my age now. I think Paul might remember it as well. Are you old enough to remember the My Lai massacre, Paul? I remember it.
Well, yeah. Well, I've heard of it. I don't know as much as you did, given what you were just saying about it a few minutes ago. It's not something I'm just aware of it. Yeah, but just in general terms, it's not something I've really looked into.
One of many massacres that took place, and it's just the one that's the most well known and published about.
Well, what the British did in Kenya, the massacres they carried out there against the Mau Mau in the, I think, late 50s, wasn't it? Horrendous. But the Mau Mau were tough bastards as well because they committed a lot of atrocities as well.
So talking about mysteries and stuff, what are people's thoughts on the Bermuda Triangle and that part of the world where aircraft and ships seem to vanish? And
isn't that near Venezuela where all the stuff's going down now, where the U.S. Navy SEALs are taking out, their ships?
I think there's Flight 59? It's those Grumman Avengers that went missing soon after World War II. They're on a training flight, and they completely disappeared off the face of the earth. Nobody knows where they got to.
I think David was talking about something related to Marconi down there that had. I think he mentioned something going on with that, the Bermuda Triangle.
Because don't they reckon it's linked to the what was the city that was sunk?
What's that? Atlantis?
Atlantis, yeah.
Atlantis, yeah. Isn't that supposed to be that part of the world, that area?
Well, no, they reckon Atlantis is actually in the Mediterranean, don't they?
Really?
And it's at the bottom. They reckon it's at the bottom of the Mediterranean because the Mediterranean is dry land.
That, you remember Tartaria, right?
Yes.
No,
not personally. I wasn't old enough.
Yeah, you don't remember it, huh? You weren't there. Okay.
No. I look old enough, but no.
I'm reading a very interesting book. It's by this fellow named Cotton Mather, and Cotton Mather, this was like the 1600s, like 1660s. He was. His father helped start Harvard University, and then he invited Elihu Yale to come to America and start Yale University. So Cotton Mather is the guy's name. He was a Puritan, and he was in the Salem witch trials and all that kind of stuff. His father was a judge there. And this book I'm reading, it's called the Tri Paradiso, and he's talking about Tartaria, but in the context of where geographically did the Garden of Eden exist. And he's talking about the different speculations, and one of them was Tartaria, and basically the Garden of Eden was covered by the Caspian Sea in a flood, which I found interesting because everybody, it seems lately there's this trend to talk about Tartaria and mud floods and all this kind of stuff, but I think that's the origin of that.
I think there's a lot of muddled history in
that. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is, but it just reminded me of that because this is a historical text about that area known as Tartaria, or the Tartar people, which they still exist in Russia.
They do, yes, the Tartarian. But Mark Anthony said, I've smelt a hum at night in my area. I've asked others about it. Yeah, there was a hum in my area as well. Who also have heard it. So I know it's not just me. Yes, that went on. I found it, I think it was in the 90s it was going on, or sometime around about that time.
Well, I think a lot of our old world buildings that we see are all Tartaria buildings, like the likes of St Pancras Station, for example. They're all Tartaria buildings. They've been repurposed as what we see them as now. I don't think they were originally built for like St Pancras for trains. I don't think that was its original purpose. I think it's been added. The trains have been repurposed for that.
But now Jollyman says the Phoenix Light's merely early blue beam. People filmed an object miles in size, low crossing above them, not disclosed in mainstream, just where they flares. Laugh out loud. Now, John Bashino's come back. Oh, thanks, mate. You've answered it. Jabos was the term the German troops used for fighter bombers like Typhoons and P-47 Thunderbolts. Now, that's interesting. I didn't know that. I've learned something there. Because I know that there was one, was it the Corsair? They called that the Whispering Death because the noise it made when it came through the air. That's sort of, and that's why it's called Whispering Death. Beautiful design, I tell you that. I think that's one of the that wings of the Corsair. I don't know, there's something about it. I don't know. Great design.
Eric, the Stuka dive bomber also made a fantastic sound as it came down with it.
Oh yes.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, as it came to unleash hell, it made a fantastic sound. It had a certain air-driven sort of air horn in it, so that's why. And it unleashed hell on those below it because of the sort of frequencies and stuff. Anyway, yeah.
Okay, psychological alarm. By the way, I do apologise for what's happened. There was a bleep mix up at the beginning of the show. No hard feelings. So there's a balls up. I just got that happens, doesn't it? So that's life. All right, mate.
Right. Do you want me to come and say something? Yeah. I mean, all
Yeah,
right.
you always want me on.
Well, we'll forget it there. But let's just
Yeah.
say there was no evidence of me saying I would turn up. I
All
will.
right.
I've said. I
Look,
know that. It's all.
I do it. Look, if I need an apology, I'll apologise. I got the ragged into the stick. Very sorry, mate. And that's it. You know, I mean,
Yeah,
we'll get make
yeah.
things.
Have,
We'll make
have,
mistakes. That's why they put erasers on the end of pencils. See, so there we go.
I get that, and I think that's a fantastic 1970s, 80s school joke, and it makes a lot of sense. But no, I didn't demand an apology. But I would like to say, can we just go into what's happening with? You've got a great guest, which I think Patrick facilitated tomorrow. Do you want to introduce who the guest is, and then hopefully we can try and, because he's a great guy. You've got a real exclusive, Eric. So who's coming on tomorrow evening, and I'll come in and ask you a couple of questions. And then
Donald
disappear.
Jeffries. Donald Jeffries
Yeah.
is coming on tomorrow night. And as I say, please have your questions ready for it. He's a very interesting chap. And he wouldn't be on if it wasn't for Patrick. Patrick introduced him. Thanks,
Yeah,
Patrick.
he's an author. He's authored a number of books on all sorts of conspiracies and that sort of thing. So
yes, right.
He has.
Well
versed. He has, but Patrick and what Patrick, as you know, what's he done? I mean, he's done books. I mean, he's done. It's one's called and he's very, and this is Eric, where you're gonna have to sort of try and bring him over to sort of the widest side of things, because he's very US focused, and of course the US is it's one of
that's
our most
why I want to introduce him, because he's I need to get the Brits and the Americans together in dialogue. This is important.
Yeah, it's very, very important. And also, I know our feelings about Greenland. You know, I mean, I never believed in being there. You know, have it if you want. You know,
That should be neutral.
Yeah, I can give
That
a
should
shit,
be Danish. Give it to the Danes. So what?
Yeah, give it someone else. You know. By the way, John Bassinone said about Vietnam War. And there's a lot coming out about Vietnam War. China and Soviet Union supplied North Vietnam with weaponry. Also, China sent down advisors to work with the North Vietnamese troops. Almost all the supplies and NVA communist troops came south through Cambodia. I didn't know that. Also, something else that is not officially known. Officially, Britain was not involved in the Vietnamese War. And we had an embassy in North Vietnam. Unofficially, the SAS were.
And officially, the U.S. never declared war.
Now, that's
they
right.
Haven't declared a war since World War II.
Including Laos.
That's right. Thanks, John, for clearing that up, because, you know, information we have is second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth hand. And it's like Chinese whispers. It gets corrupted along the line. Now, I heard the information I had was they weren't sending supplies down down there through Cambodia. But thank you very much for clearing that up. I know it was a horrendous war, and I think it's the longest war that America's ever been involved in, because it was really French Indochina.
I thought Afghanistan took first place.
Well, it was 12 years, wasn't it? Because you think about it, it was from America got fully involved, although they sent advisors before 1964. 1964 was when they had the Bay of Tonkin incident, and I think it was 73, 74.
1975 was when it finished, and
75, yeah.
And the thing that started in 55. So have a quick look and see what that comes out numerology-wise. Let's have a look. In fact, interesting. It started on 111.
And also, I remember when the helicopters were coming onto the aircraft carriers, and they were pushing them over into the sea because there's not enough room on the aircraft carriers for the helicopters. So the Bellevue helicopters were being pushed into the sea, obviously after the people had got off of them, to make room on the Harrier decks for the carriers to come out. But that was horrendous, because what happened is there was the last planes being flown out of Saigon before the communists took it over, and people were absolutely desperate to get away. And there's these horrendous scenes where you had these Hercules transport planes flying out, and people were literally trying to hang on to them to get away, so desperate to get away. And
Vietnam?
Yeah. And they actually had orphan babies, so they say, in one of these transport aircraft, and it crashed, killing all the babies. And there was some terrible, terrible things. And I know that John Pilger was in Vietnam, in Saigon, and he was outside the, I think it was the American Embassy.
Yep, what a great guy.
And a guard saw an Australian passport and just literally, bloody great bloke, grabbed him and pulled him out of the crowd and got him into the embassy, and he got away. But failing that, he would have gone to the French embassy, and that's where people went to, the French embassy, for political asylum and that. But there's lots of people, after, when Saigon collapsed, who went missing, who were never seen again. And, you know, and then, of course, you had Pol Pot in Cambodia that came along. And I don't know if you've seen the film The Killing Fields. Now, again, I don't know how true it is, because a lot of Cambodians apparently liked him.
No, he's a right fuckwit.
But I mean, I don't know. This is trouble. This is all first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth,
You're
seventh.
talking about Pol Pot?
We don't know. Pol Pot, yeah. I mean,
well, that's kind of like the Russians and Stalin. There, you speak to Russians, and the majority of them like Stalin. So it's like, you know, the victors always tell the tale, or the people who, you know, came back from the war usually tell the tale. So who knows?
Strange, isn't it? It really is. But thanks, John, for that. That's bloody good information, and it's much appreciated. I think you're in the American Air Force, wasn't you? Am I right?
Who's
I don't know.
that?
John Bassingloan. I think he was in the American Air Force, if my memory serves me right. Because I think the poor sod was, I think he went in and they said, we're going to post you. And they said, he said, where? You're going to East Anglia in Great Britain. No, anywhere but there. No, I'm only joking. Was it Thetford? I think. Yeah, you know. No, I got a YouTube spy mission, but anywhere but Thetford.
Thetford in Norfolk is a lovely area. Don't knock it.
I'm only joking. I'm actually. Actually, did you know Thetford is where Dad's Army was filmed?
Is it really? Wow.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be in Kent, isn't it? It's in Thetford. That's where
it's a cute. It's a lovely place, but like Spalding in Lincolnshire and Boston, and Eric going to shut me from it. It's been taken over by all sorts of strange people now, and so you don't get your local country store anymore. Get your. All right, I'll shut up, right? Because you don't want to know what I'm about to say. But basically, the whole of that part of Eastern England now has been taken over by people. Apparently, we need to pick vegetables for us, right? Which is right load of bullshit. But then basically they've embedded themselves, and now these villages. I mean, I'm talking like Spalding in Lincolnshire. I lived there for 2 years. Unrecognisable now because the local country pub has gone. The local country shop has gone because it's now has certain shops from Eastern Europe. And anyway, that's it. But so
Poles have moved in big time. And Peter,
well, the Poles are very good at doing that, and some of it's good, but a lot of it's bad. Anyway, I'll show up.
And what are the Poles doing in Russia?
What do you mean?
You tell me. Yeah, what do you mean? I don't know.
Holding up the telegraph poles.
Oh, I knew it was going to be an Eric joke. It's an Eric joke.
You could tell.
Are you still there, by the way, Paul? No,
this Paul?
No, the other Paul, but I think he's going to have a cup of tea.
No, I'm still here. I just put myself on mute because I was braying a rat with a stick. So I didn't think you wanted to hear that. I was braying a rat with a stick.
What does braying mean?
A dirty rat.
To hit repeatedly.
Give a good whack.
And did you get it?
Yeah.
Whack it. No, I'm using the power of radio to create images in your head about things. Who knows whether it took place or not? Eh?
There was I think, an X-Files episode on the Bermuda Triangle. Ooh. And Atlantis went all the way to Egypt, and apparently, as well as the Bermuda Triangle, there's supposed to be a Welsh Triangle. But seriously,
Come on, what's the punchline?
No, it's not a joke. I actually read a book. There's a book called The Welsh Triangle, and there was and apparently in Wales,
Berwyn Mountain.
That place where they found a camper van, and the inhabitants have just disappeared, gone. They don't know what happened to the inhabitants of this camper van. And you'd think, if you're in a camper van, you'd be pretty safe in Wales. The only thing that's going to attack you is a sheep, but no. There's been some very strange sightings of things.
Wales is a weird place. It's a weird place.
Is that why my Transport for Wales train service never turns up then?
Well, if you're from Telford, then you always have problems, don't you?
Yeah. What is this? Oh, it's a train. It's actually turned up.
That's the one.
John wrote his latest one. He was in the Marine Corps.
That's interesting because John said
C-130s.
It is the same.
He flew or piloted? He probably flew in.
I think I don't know, he might have piloted them. I think he was a pilot. So the Vietnam War was a crime against humanity. All wars are, I think. The US had many advisors since the early 60s, and the war blew up in 1965 when the Marines first came ashore in Da Nang in 65. And wasn't that, John, I could be wrong, I think that was from, because the way America got involved more was because of the, that ship, what was it called? I thought that was in 65. What was that?
The Vietnam War?
Vietnam War. The trigger for that was
the Gulf of Tonkin incident.
Yes, that's right.
I forget the
Gulf of Tonkin.
Carriers, but it was Jim Morrison's dad. John Morrison, I think, was the general, and John McCain Sr. They were both admirals. And
that's interesting.
During the Tonkin incident.
Here we are. Yes, I was first enlisted in the U.S. Marine Corps. Then after I finished college, I became a commission officer in the USAF and flew C-130s. My older brother was a Marine in Vietnam, December 66 through to January 68. And bloody hell, he must have had a terrible time there. Seriously, that was a horrendous war. Because poor sods came from peace to war, then back into peace. And psychologically, I mean, you think during World War II, this country was bombed. So civilians had, and it was bombed in the First World War as well.
Yeah, there was.
So there was it was not pretty close to us, but Vietnam was quite away from America. It wasn't that close. So
it was, and also think of all these. You've got the Vietnam thing, Gulf of Tonkin, but also you've got the Lusitania. You've got all these ships that are sunk as false flags, and they're throughout history, and they probably existed in the Elizabethan era. We don't know about this stuff, but they're all people. It's all sinking ships to try and then. What happened to it? Was it about Trafalgar where they did all this stuff to then get the stock exchange? The Rothschilds did this, so shipping and naval wars have done all sorts of shenanigans, really, to try and get one up for whoever is trying to be in charge.
The Rothschilds bankrupted this country of the Battle of Waterloo, because what happened is they used. Now this is the story I've got. And I'm not saying it's right, but they used pigeons to get the information back that we'd actually won the Battle of Waterloo, and the official news had a bloke on a horse, or a couple of blokes on horses to come, which was a lot slower. And as the Rothschilds got that news, they owned the press, so they put out in the press that we'd lost the Battle of Waterloo, and they made a fortune on the stock exchange and bankrupted this country.
Such sneaky efforts, such constantly sneaky.
Well, they didn't so much bankrupt Eric as they took over control of it. I think I hadn't heard the one about the pigeons. I know that what's his name? Is it Professor Niall Ferguson, the guy that wrote the official Rothschilds biography, and therefore is completely to be trusted? I mean, he's a very bright guy, but he denies this. It's all nonsense. But of course, it isn't nonsense. And he had two teams of men on the exchange. Did Nathaniel, I think it was. He was the one in charge at the time. And so the first team went in and started flogging everything, sent out an energy wave across the stock exchange floor. Oh, he knows something. We've lost. Flog. Everybody starts selling. Prices dive. And before the news is announced, he's got another team, starts to buy it up. Another nod, 15 minutes later or whenever. They bought it all up. And reportedly, of course, I can't prove any of this, but I remember reading it somewhere. By the end of the day, he owned 62% of the entire economic base of Britain. So that was it. It's finished then.
Wow.
Done. That's the idiocy of sort of stocks, though, isn't it, Paul? Because you can sort of hint at something, go, oh my God, it's going to go down, a war's been won, or even a butterfly's flapped its wings somewhere, or a pigeon even, and then suddenly you can win on the stock exchange.
Yeah, it's the casinofication of our lives. We're all in a casino, whether you know it or not.
I'd like to, John, if ever you want to come on the show, just say, because you're more than welcome, because I'm sure you've got really good stories to tell about your time in the American forces, you know, in the flying C-130s, and about your brother as well. So so if you would like to come on the show, there's a welcome here for you. So there we go.
You know, keeping and breeding pigeons is quite the hobby, and it's very expensive. There's a friend of our family that raises pigeons, and those birds go for thousands of dollars a piece, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars a piece for the right breed.
Crumbs. And I mean, there's quite a few pigeon panches. They say it's from up north. There's quite a few down south here, and a neighbour, I shouldn't really say this, got so peed off with pigeons shitting all over his gun. He took pot shots with his air gun, which I shouldn't say.
Well, you know what they do with these pigeons is they have they do a gambling type of thing all over the world, really. But I just remember this friend of ours, he would enter them into races, and there'd be a top prize for certain things. And one of the biggest ones here in America, it was down in Las Vegas. I don't remember what the destination was. It was probably somewhere in the Midwest, that they would bring them to Vegas, and then they would take bets on it. And it was the Mercedes company that put that sponsored this pigeon race.
Really? In our local press, many years ago, a pigeon fancier lost a pigeon, and he thought it's gone forever. Well, it turned out that I didn't know this, that the rings on pigeons' legs are international. So any pigeon fancier anywhere in the world will understand the rings on you know, whatever's written.
Yeah.
And
Eric, sorry, Eric. Why is that? Also, homing pigeons. Why have they got to have rings internationally? Because you can deposit them virtually anywhere, and they will fly back to. And how do they do that? How do you take pigeons? I mean, it's astonishing. Well, you know,
it is astonishing, yeah. But what I was going to say is that this is a true story. It ended up in China. This pigeon must have had a bleeding terrible sense of direction, and a Chinese pigeon fancier found it, read it, and a Chinese airline flew it back to Hertfordshire in England free of charge as a goodwill gesture.
Well, these people are always
first class.
They do that. No, they have pigeon mailers. It's quite common in the world of pigeon keeping that they put them in the mail and they just send them by post. So it's likely that person, you know, maybe it was a Chinese person.
Where do they get that? Where do they get a pigeon through our letterbox?
Well, one actually landed with a ring on it on the roof of my shed a couple of years back, and I phoned up the RSPB, the Royal Society for Protection of Birds, and I said, what do I do? It's a pigeon. And they said, well, it's probably been blown off course. Put some food out. They're very friendly. That's why they get caught by cats and things, because they're too friendly. They're used to humans. And they said, just keep an eye on it, put some food out and some water, let it rest. And I did that, and it flew off. And they said it will flew back. He said it's been strong winds recently, and it's been blown off course. But apparently they navigate by memory, and they've been seen flying up what you would call freeways, and like the M1, and then sort of turning left. And actually, they use sort of
landmarks,
like rail tracks, and that sort of navigation.
And yes, we call them bird brains. We call them bird brains, right? And yeah, tiny brains, but they still manage to do all sorts of things that humans couldn't do. You couldn't drop Eric in Italy and say, right, well, negotiate yourself back to Hertfordshire. You couldn't do it, right? But somehow these mini brains do it. Why is that?
Well, that's right. I mean, look at dogs. I mean, they have got no. They don't have any embarrassment about showing their true feelings, have they? I've never really understood that with dogs, you know. But Sorry, he's going to say, Patrick.
I just want to say one more thing about pigeons. The way that they tell.
Years ago, back in Steam days, they used to have trains that carried pigeons.
Yeah, it goes back to ancient times too. Yeah, but the way that they tell what a good pigeon is, the way you can tell is by looking at their eyes. It has something to do with their eyes.
Now, apparently, who are the worst criminals, orders givers or order followers? I think bloody both. By the way, there's the rhubarb triangle in Wakefield. Hereditary Get Foot said rhubarb. So there we go. And
Apparently that's crumbled now.
oh dear, oh dear. But I like rhubarb. I really do. And apparently, it fell out of fashion.
Rhubarb scones. They're good.
It's a pointless vegetable.
Oh, they're lovely.
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah,
Is it a
rhubarb
vegetable?
Pie, rhubarb crisp.
No, it's a fruit. It's a waste of space. It takes lots of space to grow it. It's idiotic. Anyway, never mind. Sorry.
But did you know the leaves you can use as a poison? They're very, very poisonous, the leaves. It's only the,
Right.
yeah. But I was going to say, John Badginglone, here it comes. The Vietnam was a crime against humanity. It was done for profit by those invested in the military-industrial complex. It had nothing to do with democracy or stopping communism. It was a lie. And Eli, who's a guest on Paul English's show, he was saying that, and there's a book about it written by a chap, and I lost it. Somebody sent it to me on PDF, and I bleeding lost it. It's somewhere floating around in my system. It's on a disc somewhere. A chap wrote a book, and he said it was not meant to be won. It was a war that was meant for profit. It's
another drugs war, like most of them.
Yeah. I was just going to mention that. Yeah, the opiates.
Yeah. True, absolutely.
Yes, but the thing is that what's happened to America? I mean, when you think about it, what has happened to America? Why has it gone? I mean, who would have ever thought in the 1950s and 60s that it had become communist? And it is. A lot of the states are communist now. I mean, where you are, Patrick, I think it's probably the least communist state. But I mean, was it?
I don't know. I beg to differ.
Really?
I guess, fortunately, Eric, we're not communist here, aren't we?
Oh,
Phew.
no, we've got Keir Starmer. He's not communist, is he?
I love not being a communist. It's great.
Yeah.
It looks just like communism, but apparently it's not, because that's what they tell us that it isn't. So
people get a bit bolshy now and then.
Yeah,
they do.
Well, look at BBC, but Bolsheviks broadcasting communism. But I'll tell you something about the American forces. They had bloody good overcoats. And I bought one the other way because they're cotton. Because I'm trying to get into wool cotton clothing. I'm fed up with
wool. I thought you said it was wool.
Yeah, it was mixture.
Oh, okay.
A bargain. I found them. A bargain, Eric. I found them. They're great.
Do you get one? They're bleeding good.
Yeah, I've ordered one 2 days ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do we get them from, Eric? Come on, I didn't know you were a coat salesman. Where do I go? Where do I get them?
You get a flasher Mac. I can send the details through to you.
Can't wait for that.
You get a cotton flasher Mac, which is extra American Army or American forces.
Comes in green.
Yeah. But the trouble is, if you wear it, you wouldn't even know it was
in a rest form.
Yeah, and you can get a wool one, not by the American Army, from another surplus place, which I can send the details through. And in fact, I could put the details on my Telegram channel. And people can. So if you're interested in if you like walking around with a flasher Mac, so a bit cold.
I'm sure I'm assuming it's not described as a flasher Mac though, so you haven't got the modern sort of
flasher Mac.
They are original army. They are original army stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
And you actually see inside where it was made. I think my one's made in Illinois. And you can actually see it. It's brand new, and it's probably.
How much did it cost you then? Or don't we ask such a rude and personal question here on the air?
It was cheap.
It was about $20.
Yeah, it was very cheap. And then I looked online for the same one. You had it in the UK for that price, and ours was like triple or quadruple the price.
So it should be
to get it here.
I actually think
you need to pay more. You need to pay more, Patrick.
Pay those shekels.
You've got all the money.
I think mine's from the 70s because when the Vietnam War stopped, what happened is they still had to supply. There was contracts out to make loads and loads of clothing and things like that. And I think that's why there's a lot of American Army surplus from the 70s because they had a huge.
Where did they store them all that time?
Don't know.
My take it's Cold War fallout. That's when you sent me, Eric. I looked at these. I thought this is Cold War sort of fallout, which is good for us because we get good army sort of surplus and army is
good quality.
Yeah, well, absolutely. So I think that's what it was.
It's even got a warning inside. If used for flashing on a cold day, remember, don't flash, just describe yourself. Jump out from bush and describe yourself. Sorry.
The thing is, though,
Oh dear.
when you buy it, though, if it's been used, how do you know? Does it sort of have like bullet holes in it?
No, this is new. Actually new, one I got. But you see, I'm trying to get natural clothing. I'm trying to get natural cotton, and you will get that with army surplus. But it just looks like an ordinary trench coat. Doesn't really look like it's just a trench coat is a trench coat. So you wear it, and people wouldn't know it's army surplus.
It's the smell of freedom from West Germany. It was great. I'm happy to pay the price.
Yeah, and that's it. And I would also I got the other one from Southern Ireland, and apparently there's a firm. It's like Marks and Spencer's in Southern Ireland. I can't remember its name, and there's overstock or something like that. And I got these beautiful woolen trench coat from there as well, and that was blatant dirt cheap. That's about $15, I think, something like that. Sorry, I'm using American
One
money.
thing I've been trying to find is a woolen blanket. A proper woolen blanket, not an army surplus one. The blanket I bought off the army surplus.
We used to have the Hudson Bay Company that would sell wool blankets, but I think they went out of business. They're defunct now. That's the only place I can think of where I'd look for a wool blanket. I've never seen them. I mean, maybe I'm sure they exist, but yeah.
Well,
would you get?
I've got some, but they were hand-me-downs from my parents.
Did they sell tea to Boston beforehand?
Sell them what? Sorry?
Sorry, historical joke, don't mind.
I didn't hear it. Sorry. Now, same Guro. It's all of it, but it's people being compliant that keep it going now. Well, that's right. And Henry David Thoreau, disobedience is the true foundation of liberty. I agree. The obedient must be slaves. Yes, and this is why I think we need disobedience. Ignoring governments out of existence. Now, Aunt Sally, who's either in the bath, out of the bath, or just about to go to the bath, Eric, are you going to be wearing this flusher, Mac, next time you go to Miles' health food shop? Laugh out loud. Yes, I wore it last time, and he's got no customers now. I don't quite know the reason why.
Yeah, because was it just the flasher Mac and nothing else?
Well, yes, it's like the bloke who went on honeymoon to the Arctic, isn't it, with his girlfriend, and he got frozen stiff, and she broke it off. The engagement. I mean, the engagement. So there we go.
I don't get it.
That's bad. You're better off not getting it.
Well, things.
Ah, yes, I'm going this week, and by the way, I got some Miles bone broth, and it's the quickest way of making bleeding glue. Don't stick your finger in the liquid as you mixing it up. It's like making glue. It is because I used to make glue out of animal bones, but bone broth is very, very good for you.
Really? That's how they make it.
Well, they actually got glue from bones. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's why they got the knackers yards for you make glue.
Knackers yard, that's right. Yeah, knackers yard. Yeah.
Yes, and because she's going that way. Yes, I might be popping in for some. What do I need now? I need some magnesium. That's what I need. Yeah, there we are. So I'd something from my memory. Now this is Stu. He says beautiful stitching on German army surplus. I agree with you there, but if you've got Austrian army surplus, it's a bit cheaper than German. It's better quality. Get an M65 jacket, Austrian. But an American one, it costs you a fortune. Get an Austrian one, it's identical. It costs you half the price.
I mean, Eric, by the time I get one, will I still need it because the warm weather will be here, or is it an all year round thing?
It keeps you cool.
Is it for the?
The tweed type stuff will keep you cool in the summertime. That's why.
Is that cool or is it cool? Is it cool or cool?
It's insulation.
It really is cool then. So it's
the
really
coat
cool.
Itself, the quality of the coat is unbelievable. The trench coat.
Come on, get it on camera and show us. Or you can't to the radio people. Have you got it on? Is that it?
Yeah. No. A clothes show live episode here.
Well, I'll have to do a special show on that. This is the Army Surplus special.
I think a fashion show, Eric, I can see it looming. And Eric is sporting the U.S. Army jacket from 1973, purchased from a manufacturer in Illinois.
Only
Look
three
at him
bullets
turn.
hole.
Look at how it fits. Look at it. Look at the cut of the cloth. He looks
Yes.
tremendous.
Yeah,
Suits you, sir.
Thank God it's not 1939.
Oh,
Get in
suits you, sir.
Oh, suits you.
Makes you
Mind
look like a Greek god, sir.
I tell you, also, I'll show my Australian hat. I've got an Australian hat. It sort of jumps up and down. Is it when you put it? No, seriously, I've got a leather hat from Australia.
It's not like a boomerang. It's not going to go back to Australia, is it?
No.
Kangaroo skin hat,
No, it's cows. Moo cow.
cowhide.
Yeah. It's a genuine Australian one, all the way from Pakistan. Made in Pakistan for Australian market. There we go. So there we are.
So it's not made from koala bear fur, is it? Because that'll make you really slow when you're moving about.
Now it says here, Aunt Sally says, I have that bone broth. Oh, you bought some as well from him, but I prefer my own that I make. Lots of effort, but worth it. Yeah, if you've got a slow cooker, I think you might can't do it.
I've been making it every week now that I've found that. That out from Natasha. Yeah, it's
Oh,
good
yes.
stuff.
Would a pressure cooker assist in the process of making bone broth?
I would
Would it?
do it. Yep, that's how I've been
Yeah.
doing it. I put it for 3 hours in the pressure cooker, and it's good to go. You
Dissolving
just take your
bones must take a lot of time.
What's that?
I said dissolving bones must take a lot of time. I
Well,
mean,
no, it
they're
doesn't
a
really
whole human.
dissolve the bones. There's lots. You get the bones with the marrow inside, the femur type bone.
Oh, marrow,
And
yeah,
you have the
okay.
butcher cut it up into thirds, and that's the best way to do it. And then you just pour water over the top of it, so it's just covering it, and put it in there in the pressure cooker. And 3 hours later, you've got bone broth.
So
And lots
it
of
makes you
marrow.
strong, does it? I mean, is there any
It helps your
connection
bones.
between the word broth and the word brothel? Is that? I just
That's
wondered.
a-
Maybe I wonder
that's
if
a
it's called a
good part of
brothel because
bones.
after you'd gone in there
Well,
and made use of the
it
services
in your
available, you
flesh
were a bit
pot.
tired out, so they'd given you some bone broth, and you'd recover your strength, and off you'd go. You could be a customer the next evening if you wanted to be. I don't know. I'm just.
yeah.
You
It's
can
a
see it's
different
late
type
at night on a Sunday, and my brain's
Well,
unraveling a little
It's a
bit.
different type
Wonder
of
what the
flesh
connection-
pot, Paul.
Just
Is that what it is?
thinking-
A flesh pot. That's it.
Now,
Yes.
hang on a minute. If a priest is defrocked, if they do something wrong, and a doctor is struck off, would a prostitute be delayed? Sorry, just a thought.
I think you're tarting up the argument here.
You are a bit.
Now, I have had, and now, so he says, I have that bone broth, but I prefer my own that I make. Lots of effort, but worth it. That instant bone broth is horrible. Yeah, it won't bleed and dissolve. You get going.
I told you.
Yeah. I use it to flavour beefy dishes and won't buy it again. Had it ages. Yeah, well, I bought Miles's bone broth and the bleeding stuff don't dissolve. You have to. And about 5 minutes later, it's still stuck to your spoon. It sticks. You put your finger in it, get it off the spoon, and it's sort of, your fingers like glue. So there we are. So
Maybe you have to bring it to a roaring boil in order to get it to dissolve.
Well, I've actually found doing it a little bit at a time, especially
Yeah.
to put it into a cup and sort of stir it around. You know.
My guess is what they do with it is they make bone broth and then they put it in a freeze dryer in order to get the powder. That's likely
Eric,
what takes
Eric.
place.
Eric,
Yeah.
Eric, can
Oh,
I
yeah.
can I promote just for 2 seconds? I'm going to f off, right? Can I
Oh,
promote?
really? I'd just clear off if I was you. I wouldn't F off.
Oh, yeah,
because-
all right, whatever. Right, can I promote your guest tomorrow? Can I
please
just
do.
mention his book titles, right? And then I'm
Yes,
going to
yes.
disappear, right? Okay,
Righto.
so Donald Jeffries, a great guy, and why is he on our side? And I say our side because we're all reprobates that go into different areas of history. We don't believe what we're fed, and we look into different areas. So listen to these titles. So Patrick got Donald Jeffries, who's been a guy that I've sort of chatted to for a good year or two, because he's a Jeff Rent's regular on a Monday. If you want to hear him, Jeff, a really interesting guy and a very good talker. Okay, so his book titles are Hidden History, right, which he's written, Hidden History, which was to do with an expose of government cover-ups and of course, and American politics, and again, American-based. He's then written another book called Crimes and Cover-ups in American Politics. The the book that I've got, which I must admit is the only one I've got of his, is called American Memory Hole, and that's about stuff that happened in. And again, because America is the most dominant sort of nation in our, in our whole sort of culture, especially now with the internet. So, America really sort of dominates a lot of our stuff. So, American Memory Hole, he's written, it's about what's happened with America that's sort of been avoided, not encountered, or not covered by the mainstream media. And he's written about all the weird it is, and that's a great book, those sort of things. And then he's done a few others, and including 2 on JFK. So I'm just going to say that, and he's a great guest, and I'm looking forward to him coming on tomorrow. And I hope I can come and ask him a couple of questions.
Certainly, you'll be most welcome. So
thank you.
Tomorrow,
Thank you.
8 o'clock, same place. Maybe I might get the other computer working. I don't know. I've warned it, and I'll give it a bloody good thrashing first thing in the morning, so it won't break down tomorrow. Hopefully.
Great guest, good taste.
Thank you very much. And as I say, it's thanks to Patrick that he's coming on. So thanks, Patrick. And of course, Patrick will be on as well. And everybody else, all the team, we're all invited. So anybody wants to come on, that would be bloody fun. It'd be great. Any questions you got, you can put it to my guests tomorrow. And so that'd be quite an exciting show. Now, Aunt Sally, she's put a recipe here. First of all, Sam says the best broth is from the brothel. Yes, I should think it is. Nothing like some broth from a brothel.
I've never been to one, I have to say.
No,
that's what they all say.
I have no idea.
Well, did you know
extremely innocent.
Les Dawson, who was you probably never heard of in America, he was famous for playing. He was a very good pianist, but he could play the piano badly. And he did it deliberately. And he had to write all together now, and he'd play it all the wrong notes. And it took a lot of skill to do it. And he started playing the piano in a hotel in France. And he couldn't understand why none of the guests stopped and listened to him. And it was a brothel. He didn't know it. Now, Aunt Sally says, I use the carcass of an orgasm chicken. Do you really? Oh, organic chicken, sorry. And plus the skin.
Where's your mind, Eric?
Sinew, the lot. That as well. Oh dear. Add celery, onions, garlic, and roast carrots, plus a few herbs. I get 3 litres, which I freeze and use to cook rice or pancakes, etc. Salivating as I hear that. That sounds very, very nice.
In the brothel, they don't use beef for broth.
Don't they?
They use horse. Horse broth.
Horse broth. Yes, and there's a very famous photograph of ladies queuing outside a butcher shop during World War II in this country, and a big sign outside the butcher shop saying "Horse sold here." Horse meat. Yes. And
do you have horse meat in your markets over there? Because it's not so common here at all.
No, we don't have horse meat at all.
No, we don't.
Not that we're told, anyway.
Not officially, although I did turn up.
Only when we're involved in the Napoleonic Wars, Patrick.
Well, I hear it's a delicacy, so I've never had it. I've never had it.
Well, you can't catch one. They're so fast. They're really quick.
There's some tame ones that are easy to catch.
Well, it says here, Matilda, a tiny organic chicken is about £20. Only serves 2. By turning the cooked carcass into broth, I get so many more dinners out of it. And if you buy a cheap supermarket one, it's got all the growth hormones on it. So if you're a bloke that wants to be a woman, just eat a supermarket chicken and you get all the, you got all the growth hormones. So, I'm only joking. But no, seriously, you can buy chickens that are not organic, but are organic, if you get what I mean. So they're a little bit cheaper. I'll go to a farm where I pick up a chicken, which is like that, Now, Stewie says, I've never been to a brothel either. Now, only in Fundus lasagna.
Findus, I think it means Findus.
Findus lasagna. I thought Findus something to do with fish, weren't they? That's interesting. But, once upon a time, all chickens were organic in this country and all food was organic. And it's only in, last 50, 60 years, it isn't organic. I mean,
What does the word organic mean anyway, though? I mean, that's only,
It means
that's
what?
only a recent
Yeah,
advertising
it's true.
tool.
It doesn't mean out now. I suppose, I guess in the mind of the consumer, i.e. us lot, it means done naturally.
It's healthy.
Like the way it
It's
used to be done. The chicken's just happy in the yard and it just lives a life, and then it's killed at the appropriate time, and that's what people think because it's never gone into. I mean, Mark's mentioned that they have to shell out something like £500. There's always a license involved in that. Yeah, you need a license. Someone's got to be paid so that you can call your stuff organic.
You know who we
but it
should
doesn't
talk
mean
to, Paul, is Misha Popov. He used to do the organic certification here in the
Did he?
States.
All right.
Friends with Maleficus. I think he'd be.
Yeah,
he'd be
Andy had him on his show quite a few times, didn't he?
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. But
Yeah.
the thing is there any state in America now that isn't commie, that is a bit sort of normal? Or are they all commie? They've been taken over
It's
by
like
communists?
anything. You got patches of people, in certain spots. It just depends. There are ghettos in every city, in big city. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Commies
But
everywhere.
I mean, where's that place? It showed you, I think it was California, Los Angeles. Where's all these people walking along the road like zombies go? There's a sort of a drug or something that they've
It's
got
all
out.
over the place. I mean,
Well, that
any
sounds
of
like
these inner
Wolverhampton.
cities, like
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
Really? Crumbs alive.
Yeah. Any of these big cities will have that kind of like Skid Row. And like you're thinking
Yeah.
of Los Angeles, Skid Row is the one where you see all the junkies and the homeless tents built
Well, yeah.
everywhere.
We had a Skid Row in this country. But the thing is, I mean, what about New England? Is that a little bit less commie than the rest of America? I don't know. I
Well,
mean,
Boston and all that. I think they're commie just as much as anywhere. See, like you're thinking of like anywhere within 100-mile radius of New York City. That's like a third of the U.S. population. I remember this guy that was a regular on Rents. His name was Andy Goss. He would talk about that. Like a third of the whole U.S. population is within a 100-mile radius of
Really?
downtown Manhattan.
Wow.
The Northeast Corridor, isn't it? As it's known by the railways, as North Boston, New York.
New England. Yeah, New England
Yeah.
would be encompassed by that. So,
that's right.
Boston
a
used
lot.
to be really dangerous at one time. Boston was.
Mm.
If you ever,
Boston's where they had the Tea Party that kicked off the American Revolution.
There's quite a few films though that are supposed to be set in America that are actually filmed in this country. I mean, what's his name? 2001 bloke. What's his
Kubrick.
Kubrick. Thanks, mate. Kubrick. He filmed most of his
Yeah, we were
films
talking
in
about The
this
Shining.
country.
That was Colorado, and then
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But he did. What was it? Was it Full Metal Jacket? That was
Full Metal
actually filmed.
Jacket. Yep.
That was filmed in Cambridgeshire,
Yeah, and then the Vietnam scenes too.
and they were filmed in Docklands. Because I know that because when you see the refugees walking along, they were from Chinese. Seriously, they were those extras were from Chinese restaurants.
Well, even Dr. Strangelove, that was apparently supposed to be military bases based in America.
But they were filmed in this country.
The,
Yeah,
the nuclear bombers are sent off on course, and there's no way to get a hold of them without the code
yeah.
from
And-
General Jack D. Ripper.
Is that General Ribbit? He's talking about was it commies? You notice it's in our water. Was it bodily
Fluoride.
fluids? That's
Oh
it.
yeah, precious
Fluoride.
bodily fluids. they're
Precious
trying to-
bodily fluids. And what I like is when they're going to have a punch up and just stop that fighting. Don't you realise this is a war room? That's a lovely line. I mean, it was a classic, but that was actually, as I say, that was filmed in this country. But I mean, Kubrick, I think, was a genius. Nearest thing to genius you could ever wish to think of, you know. But now, Exo says, Eric, how do you know all this stuff about film extras? Because I'm bleeding interested in the subject, that's why. And also, I've worked with people. I mean, for example, I know about Docklands because I worked with blokes who worked near Docklands when that film was being filmed, and they said they saw helicopters flying in palm trees. And apparently it was a very hot, because it's very humid in this country, sort of summer when they filmed it. And the makeup people didn't have to do much makeup because the advisors said that the humidity was almost the same as Vietnam. So that's why when you see them sweating like anything, that was real sweat. They didn't have to. It's a bit like the film Das Boot, a German film about the submarine U-96. That was actually filmed inside a U-boat to make it authentic, and the crew, a lot of them got serious psychological effects from it. So they tried to make it as realistic as possible. So the crew went through exactly the same training as a U-boat
Method
crews
acting.
did. Yes, it was quite something. And the bloke who was in the engine room, he had post-traumatic stress disorder after the film from it. Now,
Chaps, I need to drop off if that's okay.
Well, as long as you don't fall off, you'll be all right. Yeah, should be all
I'm
right.
definitely not going to fall off.
Yes.
I've yawned my head off here, so I do apologise. But
Don't fall
that's
off
right.
the
I am
platform.
boring. Anyway, see you, mate. And
have a good evening, all. Nice,
and I hope you
nice
enjoyed
to
us
be on par
tomorrow.
again.
You're always welcome because you're part of the team. So, see you, Paul. Good night.
Take care.
Yeah.
Good night, all.
Bye,
Good night.
Paul.
See
Good
ya.
night.
Now, Aunt Sally's still on about her frozen chicken. She says once it's cooked and frozen and taken out of the bath. Oh, sorry. I mean, once it's taken out of the frozen, I recook the mush that's left, take the onions out, and make it all again for a second time, strained. The dog get that as I drink. The dogs get that as I drink and bloody love it. That's interesting, yes. And she goes on to say, what was it? Here we go. If anyone wants the proper recipe, chicken broth is usually called Jewish penicillin. That's correct. On Google's, I'm not Jewish. See, so there we go. Yeah, he's known as Jewish penicillin.
You're not a chicken swinger. All right.
No, not chicken swinger. No. But you'd be forgiven for thinking so because of the way I get my money's worth out of a dead chicken. Well, that's right. Yes. But no, I'm interested in where films are filmed. And there's loads of films. Brazil, that was actually filmed in this country as well.
Was it?
And yes,
Didn't they film that part of it in a nuclear reactor?
don't know about
A
that.
cooling tower.
But
Yeah,
there's-
he took he went into the middle of a cooling tower for one of the
Really?
scenes.
And I know there's a secret now. It's not so secret, is it? Because the signpost, a secret H-bomb shelter. Seriously, not far from where I live. I didn't go there and visit it because they decommissioned it, and the land that the bloke who they actually, I think in the 60s, the Ministry of Defence took part of this bloke's land over. And when they decommissioned the H-bomb shelter, they gave the land back to him with the H-bomb shelter on it. So he decided to capitalise on it, and it was all decommissioned. And
You rent out rooms?
And apparently there's lots of films been filmed down there, and you can
Oh.
actually go down there and see this from the 60s, this secret H-bomb shelter. I haven't been down there, but I've seen film of it. Someone did a documentary about it, and they actually do a lot of filming down there.
Yeah, you
but,
could get a
it's,
sequel to Doctor Strangelove in that.
Well, I'm
that
sure
was the
that-
premise of it. That toward the
Yeah.
end, like they're all going to live in bunkers for 25 years
that's it.
with a ratio of like what was it, like 1 to 8 women, men to women.
That's it. And I'm
Repopulate.
sure that Peter Sellers, although Kissinger wasn't famous at that time, he was the image of Dr. Kissinger in that film, wasn't he?
I heard it was Kissinger's mentor that it was actually based off of, similar accent type.
Really?
Yeah.
Because
I forget the guy's name. now.
that sort of. Oh, sorry, I forgot myself. He kept putting his arm down. I mean, it's a very clever piece of filming. But
Well, the
I
guy
still-
that did the photography for that, the cinematographer, was Gil Taylor, and he did the Beatles movie Hard Day's Night. He did I forget the name of the movie, Repulse, something like that Roman Polanski did, and then he did Star Wars, the first two, I think.
yeah.
Same dude.
Oh, I mean, I don't think you get the same sort of cinematographers nowadays because I can't stand computer graphics. They're shit most of the time, especially the Titanic. The Titanic was too clean. And there's always sort of prestige. Things weren't prestige. The real Titanic was bits of coal dust and shit all over it and barnacles and whatever, you know. Now, Aunt Sally's gone on to making, you ought to do a cookery show, Aunt Sally, on Food for Thought Radio. There's an idea.
Yeah.
I can't stand wasting good food, nor can I, because you were brought up, you're similar age to myself, and I was brought up that you had to clear your plate or you didn't get afters. And that's it, you had to clear your plate. And sometimes I can't get an organic chicken that easy. No, not easy. Those shelves are empty. Everyone's into it. That's right. But you can buy organic eggs from Lidl's, and they're reasonably priced. Whether they're organic or not, well, I think they are. They seem to be. So there we go. Now,
I'd hate to see what an inorganic chicken looks like.
yeah, you got a good point there. Yes. Yes, I just thought about that. Yes. Exo says, no one has topped Leni Riefenstahl. Yes, she was
Leni
a good film.
Riefenstahl. She was good. She
Yes,
did those
right.
mountain films. I worked on a book where the author of the book, I was an assistant photographer on this book about
Really?
the architecture of the historic lake homes of Lake Minnetonka, Minnesota. And the author used to go scuba diving down in the Caribbean with Leni Riefenstahl
Really?
before she died.
She's a marvelous
Leni-
woman.
Yeah.
What was it? Something of the Will, wasn't it? She did.
Triumph of the Will, and
Triumph
then
of
there
the
was
Will.
Olympia, which was the Olympics. She was the head chief of the crew that did the Olympic film, where Hitler was there, and Jesse Owens and all that. And then
1936 Berlin Olympics.
yeah, and then she did a bunch of films that were. I saw one of them. It was like they were up in the Arctic, flying around in seaplanes, just these beautiful vintage airplanes, massive airplanes too. They're just gorgeous. I forget the name of that, but she did a lot of mountain films, they called them, where they took place in the Alps.
She also spent time with a tribe in Africa, didn't she?
Yeah,
And
she
there's
did
no-
a documentary about tribes in Africa, primitive tribes.
And now Aunt Sally, she was a good film. She was a very good filmmaker, excellent. And she
And
was
it
one of
was
the
a fun
oldest
film.
scuba divers, wasn't she? She was scuba diving into her
She was in her
90s.
90s, yeah.
Yeah, and now it says yes, I get Lidl's organic eggs, or get them from a stable. Horses don't lay eggs. I go past when they have them. That's a new one. I didn't know horses laid eggs. Did you? That's a new one on me, Aunt Sally.
What?
To get them from a stable. Well, there we are. Well, I've learnt something there. Pulling your leg. Yeah, there's lots of very clever filmmakers. But I'll tell you a film I'd like to see. That is All Quiet on the Western Front, the new version. Because what I've
What do you
seen
mean
on
by
YouTube,
new? Restored?
no,
Or there's a new remake?
Yeah, they've done a remake, and what I've seen of it is incredible photography. It's a German film, and the photography, the acting, stunning. The blokes really look terrified on it, and it really does look the business. And although the Germans are thorough with their films, aren't they? But
Technically, yeah. They make the cameras that they used in Hollywood. A lot of that technology originated there, and then they brought it with them when they went to Hollywood.
yeah, well, that's it. Oh, Aunt Sally said that the horses, they lay big brown squishy eggs, Chris. So I've learned something there. And
Well, the
Rocky
stallions
Road,
have eggs, that's for sure.
yes, chicken broth, being Jewish penicillin, reminds me of that Jewish guy that I know that owned 2 chickens. One of the chickens got sick, so he killed the healthy chicken to make soup for the sick chicken. Sorry. That's more like an Irish joke. But what is it? Funny enough, the stables sell that too, 50 pence a bag. Yeah, they deliver it through your letterbox, don't they? If you don't pay them. Sorry. Do you remember that Monty Python one where someone won some dung as a first prize in a competition? Yeah, here's your dung. It goes, sort of flies around. A bucket of dung, yeah. Anyway, we're coming to the end of the show. And it just now, Paul, first of all, something's happening tomorrow morning, isn't it? So we better remind them.
Yeah. We're having a beta test for Food for Thought radio. And we're going to start talking around about 10 o'clock. I'll probably push it out of a soapbox and a few things. So this is all a bit laissez-faire and ad hoc, but that's the way it is. It's cool. So we'll do that. That site should be up and running, the FFT radio site, but it might not be. It's really to test some back end of things, but I don't know, really. It's just about there, but I can't see it. But it doesn't matter. It's an opportunity to get people together to do things and do stuff and to build it up from a slow hub. There could be a lot of things. There's only a few switches and suddenly it'll all be there. But I'm not in charge of it, so that's so it's a beta test period. Yeah. So expect little bits to fall off and go wrong, but it should be too bad. We'll stick it out of a soapbox, and if I know that it's all happening, I'll send out messages on Telegram about 9 o'clock tomorrow morning or something like that, an hour before we do it. And then I think Mark, who won't be with us in the morning because he's going to a funeral, he did send me a message today saying that he wants to get behind the mic about 1:30. It's just an ad hoc sort of situation. So he may well come on for the afternoon for a bit. And then there's your show tomorrow night, which will go out over FFT as a test. And so there's possibly another show from a chap called Gary, who's going to who's got a crypto show, but it might not happen. So that's what it's like at the moment. So no one should rely on too much stuff. But within a couple of weeks, it'll be solid. It'll be solid in a couple of weeks. It's to bring people into the space and get them used to what they got to do and all that kind of stuff. And there's so many, potentially there's a handful, and that's quite a few really, all in one go. So we just want to bolt them in as quickly as we can, and no pressure. And then it'll be. And when it's in place, everybody will get we'll do a proper promotion and go, hello, we've got all our ducks in a row now. So
yes. And
we'll be all posh.
All sort of steampunk and that. And the other thing is that something's happening this Thursday, isn't there? 8 o'clock on the Paul English Show, live.
Monica's with us this week. Monica Schaefer should be on. So I've still yet to decide whether it's 2 or 3 hours. It all depends how many of these morning gigs that we do. So I think the idea is that the morning gigs are going to be on the FFT test for at least 2 hours, 10 till midday, every day of the week. So it all depends how knackered I get. I don't really know. That morning show could be different hosts. People could be different anchors for it each morning. It could be we just don't know. And it's good that we don't know. We just don't know at the moment. So it all depends what people can do, what they want to do, how comfy they are, and what they get an urge to do. So it's like a public tryout.
That's right. It's going to be recordings because I'm planning to do some recordings with Miles Fleetwood. On all kinds of things like that, and also, I think a cookery section wouldn't be too bad.
We need everything. We need everything, don't we?
We do.
Yeah.
And also a comical news. Definitely got to have a comical news. That's the main thing. Well, anyway, thanks, Paul, for being here tonight, and it's much appreciated. And I'll be hopefully with you tomorrow morning around about 9:30.
Yeah, I hope I don't lie in either. I'm finding it difficult. I better go and hit the hay, actually. Look at this. What an old fart.
So I'm going to have to hit the hay because I've got to get up early because I've got to go on a show tomorrow morning. Don't know quite, but I'll be on
just
there.
Bring plenty of strong tea and we'll do a breakfast show, whatever that means. I've no idea what it means.
Also, thank you, Patrick, and also our other guests, who was Anorak and David. And we're sorry about the mix-up tonight, but those things happen. And so we'll be back tomorrow morning. And, of course, tomorrow evening, we've got our special guests coming on, Donald Jeffries. So that's going to be an exciting show. And people are welcome to put questions to him. A very interesting guest we're having. And, all our guests are interesting, so there we go. And it just leaves me to say, have you got anything to say to the audience, by the way, anybody, before we go?
I thank you for having me on the show.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah. It's been nice tonight. It's been fun.
It's been great. It's turned out, I've usually found when there's a bit of a cock up at the beginning of the show, it tends to work out okay, so there we go. And it just leaves me to say, please put your thumbs up, subscribe, and tell others. And if you look down in the description below, if you feel, if you want to buy me a coffee, I don't mind. I'm going to drink a nice cup of coffee. And whatever happens, have a bloody good laugh. And good night.